Good afternoon, and welcome to Ernest Hawkins Field here in Commerce, Texas, the campus of Texas A&M University Commerce. Greg Higgins along with Brock Calloway. And Brock, the 20th annual Tips USA Champs Heart of Texas Bowl is here today in front of us, and we've got two junior colleges. This is going to be a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah, it really is. If you like the old school throwback football, this is the game for you. You see them, so many schools these days out there throwing the ball around, 40, 50 times a game. You're not going to see that today, but what you will see is two teams that love to pound the rock with a powerful running game and a couple of really good defenses that have really heated up as this season's gone along. Both these teams riding a hot streak into this bowl here in beautiful Commerce, Texas.
Yeah, we got the number 7 nationally ranked and Southwest Junior College football champion Kilgore Rangers. They're going to face off against number 11 nationally ranked Butler County Community College out of Kansas. And the Heart of Texas Bowl, it's something that for 20 years this has been something that they've done. They've recently moved it to A&M Commerce, and it's the missions for America's drug-free productions to provide educational information on the dangers of the abuse of alcohol, illicit drugs, bullying, teen suicide for the youth of America. It's really a good, awesome program and a bowl game that helps do good for the community and for the state of Texas as a whole.
Sure. I mean, that's obviously, you think of a perfect scenario. There's so many bowls games out there today that you hear the big schools playing in these goofy pinstripe bowl that nobody's ever heard of, and they don't really get anything out of it. Nobody cares. This is actually a bowl game that does a ton of good outside of just this game. There's a lot of good that comes from the things that they do there. And this is also a great thing for these kids that are playing in the game here today as well. These are two teams that, fought through a tough year and fought through a lot as they went on, but got hot at the right time of the year. And we were watching them in the pregame show. We were talking about how cool it was to watch how excited these kids were to be playing this game. Most of the other teams in their divisions and their conferences, they're at home. They're done with their season. They have nothing else to do. But these guys have one more game. They've been able to squeeze out some more practices for some of those younger guys leading into next year. We'll get into that more as the game goes on and what that means for the future of these programs. But, you talk about a recruiting edge for both of these schools, getting into a bowl game like this and be able to sell this to some guys that are looking at all the schools around the country, what's ones they want to go to. Playing in a game like this after the season's over when everybody else is sitting at home is definitely a selling point.
Yeah, absolutely. And both these teams, the teams on the field, Butler and Kilgore, both these teams are very similar in styles, Brock. You've got teams that are both putting up close to 400 yards of total offense. Defensively, they're giving up less than 300 total yards of offense. So both these teams match up really well, and it might be a key that you brought up in the pregame about the rushing defense that might be the key to this game for one of these teams.
Yeah, I mean, you look at these two schools, they got here doing the same thing. They've got a tough, big, rugged offensive line, and they love to run the ball with some powerful backs. Both teams have 1,000-yard rushers. From Butler Community College, you look at Ajuan Dingle, a 6'1", 220-pound sophomore. That's a load.
Yeah.
Finished the season with over 1,000 yards on the ground, and in his last game that they won, the Butler won, 245 yards on the ground and 4 touchdowns. So Ajuan Dingle's the guy for Butler. And then you switch over to the other side for Kilgore. Denario Davenport, a 6'1", 205-pound sophomore out of Mansfield, Texas, about an hour from here. Southwest, I believe that is.
Yeah.
He finished the season with over 1,000 yards and 121 yards last week. So these are two teams that do the exact same thing. It's just going to be, like you said, come down to who does it better. You mentioned those two defensive powerhouses on the defensive side, the running side of the things, that Butler gives up 100 yards rushing per game. So this is kind of a thing to keep an eye on. They will give up a little bit on the ground. Kilgore, on the other hand, has only given up 68 rushing yards a game.
Yeah.
That's a stout defensive running game and a running defense. And when you come into a game like this with two teams that want to do the same thing as pound that rock, you've got to kind of give the edge a little bit to Kilgore defensively. It seems like they have been able to stuff the run a little bit better than Butler so far, but none of that matters, right? Today, all that matters is on the field. What happens in the stats means nothing.
Absolutely. And the other thing that Kilgore has done really well, talking about the defense, they're only giving up 14 points a game. So the other team is only averaging 2 touchdowns a game for a season. That's
right.
really, really elite status when you talk about defensive production.
Yeah, and as the season goes on, the defense wins championships, right? Offense wins games, defense wins championships, and Kilgore finds themselves 8-3 in this game. They've won 4 in a row. Those last 4 games, they won by a combined score of 159-50. That's just incredible. But then you look over at Butler, and the same thing. They've won their last 2 with a combined of 70-12. So Butler has really been on a hot streak as well at the end.
Yeah, their points per game is 20 for the season. They've given up 20 points per game, so right at three scores, 3 touchdowns a game. But like you said, both these teams really turning it on as they got into conference play and as they went through the season, and started turning it on and realize down that home stretch, if you will, when the games mattered the most. And I'm excited about this. It's perfect weather here in Commerce, just northeast of Dallas, about 60 miles, and this is gonna be a lot of fun today.
Yeah, it really is. This as the teams come out for the coin toss here, we'll keep an eye on that as the toss goes here. But yeah, it's a Kilgore, like you mentioned, not too far from here either.
Yeah,
Kilgore just down the road. It's about an hour.
Exactly. Yes, it's about an hour for Kilgore, probably about 6 hours for Butler.
And Kilgore, we've seen them not too long ago on this actual field playing Texas A&M Commerce a few years back. And obviously, there's another A&M Commerce connection to this. Commerce played in this bowl game.
They did.
About 5 or 6 years ago. I was actually at that game, and it was a couple years before they won their national championship. And that's one of the things that back then head coach Colby Carthel, who went on to win the 2017 national championship, huge 3 weeks to a month of practice.
Yeah.
At the end of the year, that's almost like another spring practice you get just for making a bowl game, because the rest of those teams can't play or practice after the season's over. But these guys have been able to squeeze another 2-3 weeks of practice out. And when you've got some younger guys, and these 2 JUCOs have a lot of young guys. They're freshmen and sophomores, right? So a lot of these freshmen that may not have been able to play a whole lot throughout the season because they were backing up the sophomores, they get a lot more playing time during those bowl game practices.
For a third time in this game, the last time they played in 2018, they beat a team out of Arizona 28-0. And then back in 2006, they beat Fort Scott out of Kansas 19-7. So Kilgore, they did lose in 2015 against East Central out of Mississippi 35-21. So Kilgore has been in this bowl game a lot and looking to see if they can add another win. A game you were talking about with A&M Commerce happened in 2014. They beat East Central 72-21.
I was at that. I called that game for A&M Commerce. That was the biggest turnaround game for that program you've seen in a long time. They'd been struggling for quite a few years and made this bowl game when they made the most of it. Just kind of started their momentum towards that 2017 national championship.
Of course, there for a while, this bowl game consisted of 2 games.
Yes.
They had a Division II game as well as a community college game. But once COVID hit and they kind of after that they just kind of backed it down to 1 game. They had talked about possibly adding a second game, doing 2 games this year, but they just decided to just go ahead and do the 1 game that we've got today. Get set for the kickoff. Kilgore wearing blue uniforms as Butler wearing the white uniforms with the purple pants going left to right across your screen.
Butler's got a unique color scheme, don't they? I was sitting here trying to think I haven't seen a gold and purple team. It's a really good look.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, obviously, you got the purple and gold of LSU, and then you got the gold color, but not that type of gold. It's more of a yellow gold. It really is a good one. Butler to kick off. Caden Clausen to do the honors, and we're underway. And it's going to be a touchback as we start. We'll see that high-powered offense of Kilgore on the field first.
Yeah, Denario Davenport, number 6'1", 205-pound sophomore out of Mansfield, Texas. He'll be the guy for Kilgore. We'll see quite a bit here.
See how the defense for Butler responds. Beautiful, beautiful afternoon. Judah Holtzclaw is the quarterback for Kilgore. He's going to start off in the gun. He's going to keep it himself on an option. A big hole on that right side.
Boy, it's a good play call there. It's exactly what Butler was thinking, the same thing we were. We've been up here concentrating on Denario Davenport so much, knowing he came into this game so hot, over 1,000 yards during the regular season. They faked the handoff to him. Butler's entire defense ran towards Denario like my eyes did.
Yeah, me too.
Holtzclaw did a great job of keeping that one running right up the middle.
Gained 9 on the play, second down and short. And there is Davenport up the middle for the first down of the game.
Well, I tell you what, I was looking through Kilgore's offensive line. Well, there is some beefy dudes up front. I looked at their two deep. Their entire starting offensive line is over 300 pounds. Their entire two deep is also over 300 pounds. That's just a lot of beef up front.
It really is. Talked about the weather. It's 56 degrees. The wind is blowing about 13 miles an hour to the south. Another handoff to Davenport. That's a good job on that defensive line, only holding him for a couple yards. It's gorgeous football day here in December.
He was brought down by Caleb Foster, 6'4", 235-pound freshman out of Stanhope Elmore High School in Alabama.
You know, out of any level that you're playing, if you're still playing football in December, you're doing good.
Yes, you're doing the right thing, right?
Right. Looking for a block on that far side, and another good job on that pursuit on the far side. Able to bring down Davenport, brings up third down and long.
Well, we talk about all the similarities between these two teams. One thing that's drastically different is the makeup of their roster. Looking through Kilgore's roster, every single player on their roster outside of 3 are from the state of Texas.
Right.
They've got one from Westerville, Ohio. It's actually Holtzclaw, the quarterback, 6'5", 233 pounds. We have a ball tipped at the line of scrimmage here, incomplete.
And almost picked off. Mason Thrash was in the area, just couldn't quite get there. That could have been a huge play here to start this game.
Kilgore's other 2 players, one from Louisiana, one from Arizona. The rest of the entire roster from the state of Texas. Meanwhile, you look at Butler, and it's incredible.
Yeah.
The locations they've got. I see a Hawaii. I see an Ontario.
Mansfield,
they are all over the
Tallahassee,
place.
Florida, lots of Alabama, lots of places
Yes.
different, as you said.
They are out and about in their recruiting.
There's a kick that comes off the side of the foot from Diego Gonzalez, and it's going to give Butler extremely good field position near midfield.
Yeah, that one looks to be about a 20-yard punt. Definitely, like you said, off the side of his foot to the right. That's not exactly what Kilgore was hoping for there.
No, exactly. Now we'll see the offense on the other side and see how they respond after the defense gets them the ball back in good field position.
We mentioned the running back for Kilgore. The stud over on the Butler side is Ajuan Dingle, 6'1", 220-pound sophomore out of Bayonne, New Jersey.
And he's going to get the ball first, and lots of speed. Ball's on the ground.
I'm not sure if he was down first, but
they're going to say it looks like he's down.
Yeah, it looked like he was down. Boy, he was a load coming through there fast, wasn't he?
Yes, for sure.
220 pounds. You don't exactly imagine that type of speed coming off of him, but boy, Dingle's got it.
Jake Wolf, quarterbacking, freshman from Kansas City. He's back to pass. Nice job blocking up front. Pass complete to that far side. That was Carlgan with the reception. So bring up third down and short.
Brought down by Oscar Moore, number 11, a 6'1", 208-pound sophomore out of Eaton, Texas.
First time either team's been on the opposing side of the 50.
I think we may get some flags here. That may be a
there's some movement on that right side.
Like maybe a false start.
Yep, that's exactly what it was. The defensive end on the Kilgore side came across, but he was drawn. It was Tavon Alexander jumped across the line, but
he was coming quick too.
Yeah, he was. That's one of those where he comes across, and you don't know if it was a false start or if they blew it dead because he was so far across the line.
He's going to kill somebody if we don't blow the whistle here.
But it was a false start penalty, so now instead of a 3rd and 1, it's 3rd down and 6 for Butler. Pass again, a little screen pass set up, and nice tackle on that far side. Looked like DeMarcus Crosby able to stop him short of the first down.
I think Butler may be going for it here. I think that's the right thing to do here as well. They've it's 4th and 1. The ball's placed on the 44. They only need the 43 to get it.
And they bring Dingle out and bring in Paris Brown.
Well, that's a
5'9" sophomore.
You wouldn't think they'd be handing up. Well, I guess they are. I was about to say, I didn't think they'd hand it off up the middle if they take Dingle out, but that's exactly what they do.
And they're going to have the first down as Brown gets a couple of yards. My first thought was you definitely – and that might be one of those decoy things. Well, they're taking their star out. They're going to pass the ball.
Exactly.
And then they do hand it off up the middle.
That's exactly what I was thinking. When you see Dingle come out, you, as a defender, you're thinking, okay, maybe it's not up the middle after all, and then Butler does exactly what you're not expecting and runs it up the middle. It's a good play call.
Look like some more movement on that left side of the line, right next to the center, maybe the guard.
Yep.
Got a little bit too antsy.
Jake Wolf, quarterback, very animated there. He's not happy with that. Guys, come on. Looking at it, Jake Wolf, one of the Texas players from Allen. Oh, that's not Allen High School in Texas. That's maybe that is Allen High School. They've got him at Blue Valley High School in Kansas, but they also have Allen High School. So
yeah, may have transferred.
I wonder if maybe that's the Allen High School here outside of Dallas, up north.
It would make sense because they produce a lot of college talent.
Yeah. Kyler Murray was playing quarterback there not too long ago.
Yeah, yeah. See how that worked out for him.
Working out pretty well, yeah.
4 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Wolf under pressure, and he's going to go down. A big loss there. Sack. That was number 14, Vincent Page, in there to bring him down. Page, 225-pound freshman from Denton, Texas.
Boy, if you're Butler, you got to be a little upset at yourself here. You got good field position off a muffed punt there, and that thing's kind of rolling for you. But a couple of penalties here got you looking at a 2nd and 26 suddenly.
Yeah. They got to get all the way down to the 32-yard line for a first down. Good thing is you got a couple plays to do it. You don't have to get it all back at one time. Right. Low pass. It looked like it was bobbled, and they're going to give him the catch, but very short gain.
Yeah, these penalties kind of push Butler, and this would be the same thing if it was Kilgore. It kind of pushes you out of what you do, right?
Yeah.
These teams are so good at running the ball. There's not a whole lot of teams out there that could feel comfortable at 2nd and 26 with their odds of converting and moving the ball down the field with the first down. But a team that runs as powerful as these guys do and two defenses as good as these two defenses are, when you put yourself in that kind of a hole, it's tough to dig back out of.
Now you got 3rd down and 23. You got a new quarterback in there, and he's going to throw it near side. It's intercepted. And that's going to be a touchdown. There is a flag on the far side, so we'll see what that happens. But Jevaniah Lister just jumped in front of the route, and we'll see what that flag is. It might be.
We We got a couple of Butler guys saying it's coming back, but you never know.
Yeah. They didn't blow the play dead, so it makes you think it was maybe a defensive. It could have been an illegal shift or something like that, but it makes you think maybe it was offsides, and it does look like they're bringing it back. That was Humphreys, the wide receiver, that was in there as the quarterback.
Boy, Butler catches a break there.
No, I'm sorry. I had the wrong number. Jacoby Myers, the quarterback, number 14. I had number 4. And Myers back in there.
That's one of those ones that hurts you as a Kilgore defensive player as well, that offsides had nothing to do with that interception, so you kind of just gave one back to him.
Exactly. And Myers up the middle, lots of room, and he's going to have the first down.
A great run.
Wow.
Well, I tell you what, and again, still
on the pistol formation, and now he's going to hand it off. And Dingle.
Wow. 220 pounds. That dude can move.
Yeah. He's hard to bring down, too. You saw him break a couple of tackles there.
Now, you hear 220 pounds, you think just kind of a pounder up the middle. That is not what Dingle is showing so far today. He's a good runner.
And I don't know if there is something, if there's something wrong. You know, Wolf started the game at quarterback, and now they've brought in Myers, and Myers has been playing this series, and there's another huge run up the middle. That's going to be another first down for Dingle. And Butler is they're going to move inside the red zone at the 19-yard line. First down and 10. 7 minutes gone here in the first quarter. The Heart of Texas Bowl from Commerce, Texas. There's Dingle once again. Just
it's good.
Somebody, I can see the defender grabbed a hold of him at the line of scrimmage, and Dingle carried him 4 yards up to the 25 or to the 15-yard line.
Dingle with an offer from Western Michigan out of high school.
Okay.
Ended up going to the JUCO route. Was also talking to Delaware, Pitt, Rutgers, and Syracuse. So this is a guy that's obviously on some D1 maps out there.
Yeah.
You can see why.
Absolutely. He can run. He's got good size. Myers going to go down the side of the end zone and had a man towards the back, A.J. King, but
6', 190-pound sophomore out of Conroe, Texas. I guess I should specify.
Yeah. Well, you know. There's probably only one Conroe. Just kidding. Anybody that's from a different Conroe. Third down and 6. Myers with an empty backfield. He's keeping himself and easily get the first down. It was kind of a slow developing play, and I know it was designed that way, but it just kind of looked, he held the ball out like he was going to hand it off even though there was nobody there. Right. And then just kept it himself, did a good job waiting for the blocking to open up in front of him.
Yeah, you got a play call like that, you got to have a lot of faith in your offensive line because it's one of those ones where Jacoby might
hand off. That was Paris Brown on the carry. So second down and goal from the 7-yard line.
Well, that clock is just disappearing with these two teams that love to run the ball so fast. We're down to 6:42 already.
Yeah, just the opening drive of the game for Butler. Kilgore got the opening kickoff and unable to do anything.
So far, Butler with 38 yards on the ground. Kilgore's 18. We talk about how important those running games were going to be. That's who's leading the show so far.
Myers breaking out of a tackle and gets back maybe to the line of scrimmage. We'll see where they spot it.
You have to think here that Butler's probably going to have to throw the ball. Kilgore at this point is daring them to do it. They're just kind of stacking up the middle of that defense, and it's making the running game a little tough.
seen Myers. He's got a good arm, but, man, his legs have been what's carried them in this drive. Converted that 3rd and 23 with his legs.
Yeah, so far Myers with 3 for 27, a long of 19, and then you've got Dingle with 4 carries for 20 yards, a long of 7. Butler is averaging 3.8 yards a carry right now, but most of that's been hurt by an 11-yard sack.
Yeah.
So, Wolf, you take that 11 yards out, and those numbers are very different.
There's a handoff up the middle and into the end zone is McMillan for a touchdown. So his first carry, the freshman from Mobile, Alabama, and it's a score.
Nice carry up the middle. We talk about Dingle so much coming into this one, and it's been surprising running by Wolf, and then that run right there, catching Kilgore off guard a little bit.
Carson Arndt on to try the extra point, and it's good. So there you go. 5:28 to play first. It's 7-0. We're going to be right back with the kickoff after this.
CHAMPS. Communities Helping Americans Mature, Progress, and Succeed is a school-based program committed to being a part of America's solution, not America's problems. CHAMPS provides information on anti-bullying, teen suicide, the abuse of alcohol, and illicit drugs. You're not in this alone. At www.champsassembly.com, we tell our story.
Back in Commerce as we're getting set for the kickoff. Caden Clausen to kick off for the second time in the game, and it's another touchback.
Good kick. Was almost out of the back of the end zone of the air.
The play went 15 plays, 53 yards, took 7 minutes, 36 seconds off of the clock, and ended with a touchdown run by Jason McMillan. So we'll see how Kilgore on their second drive responds. Number 7 team nationally ranked. Of course, Butler's number 11.
You take that 11-yard sack out of the rushing yardage for Wolf. Butler's averaging nearly 6 yards a carry.
Kilgore's going to throw the ball and close to the sideline. They're going to say he caught it out of bounds. It looked like the right call.
Yeah.
He had space, but the ball just carried Michael Phoenix too far into the out of bounds area. Rock, we did 5 or 6 different games here in Commerce this year, football, and this might be the best weather that we've seen.
Yeah, funny you say Michael Phoenix. I was sitting here glancing down. I believe that's the same player that actually played here at A&M Commerce last year.
There is a little screen pass set up to Davenport.
That is him. That's
okay.
Michael Phoenix, number 17. That last pass intended for him that went out of bounds was a redshirt freshman here at A&M Commerce last year. I thought I knew that name.
Yeah, there you go.
Very good player.
So it'll be 3rd down and 5. Empty backfield for the Rangers. There's a Wide receiver screen and nice blocking and big tackle, but not before a first down by Michael Phoenix. Just talking about him, and there he is.
He was a guy that was very well thought of while he was here.
We're going to have
a timeout here on the field for an injury.
Injury timeout on the field.
I believe that's a Butler player down.
Yeah. Getting attended to at the 40-yard line. Well, some nice blocking on that far side that allowed Phoenix to get that first down. It looked as if he could have been stopped right at the line of scrimmage, but escaped one tackle and then got the blocking he needed. So we got this injury timeout. I'll tell you what, let's take a quick timeout with them, and we'll be right back.
TIPS, the interlocal purchasing system, is efficient, effective, and economical. Purchasing is a necessary activity for any business or organization. TIPS provides a proven process to eliminate purchasing-related stress for governmental entities and provides a simplified purchasing experience for school districts and vendors. Contact TIPS. Let them simplify your life. www.tips-usa.com.
Coming out of that timeout for the injured player, it's going to be first down and 10 for the Rangers at their own 40-yard lines, looking to get across midfield for the first time in the game. Their second possession of the game. Holtzclaw in the pistol formation. Davenport with him in the backfield. He's going to throw a wide receiver screen to ice him, and nice play there defensively.
Yeah. Just a really good play there by Butler, kind of collapsing that side of the field, trying to look for a little alley for him to get through, and just not one there.
It's going to be second down and long. Pistol formation once again. Here's a handoff. Davenport, big hole in that left side, and he breaks through a couple of tackles. Nice running there, and nice blocking up front for Denario Davenport.
Well, that's some great running there by Davenport. He got around to that left edge, and he just kind of glided through lanes there. Not any real quick cutbacks or anything. Didn't have to stop and slow down. Just kept his speed and just glided through holes all the way up to the 38-yard line here.
Both these running backs we talked about for both teams are deceptively fast.
Yes.
You get that ball, and you don't realize how fast and how quick they actually are. Approach 4 minutes to play in this first quarter. There's a pass down the field. He's got it, man. It's going to be caught and a touchdown. Willie McCoy down the left sideline, and a gorgeous pass from Holtzclaw.
Well, all this time we've been telling everybody about the running games. You get a gorgeous throw like that. It's a perfect pass to Willie McCoy, a 6'1", 180-pound sophomore out of Houston.
38-yard touchdown, and the ball was thrown about 40 yards as he hit him in stride, perfect right throw. Inside the 5-yard line. And I'll tell you we talked about speed. McCoy, the perfect speed to be able to catch up to that throw. Is that flag on the play? But they when he threw the ball, I thought he overthrew him.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, there's no way. And then McCoy somehow able to
You see those throws a lot, and that's when the quarterback knows the speed of his receiver much better than we do, right?
Right.
He lets go of it, and you're thinking, oh, there's no way that's going to be caught. And sure enough, that receiver just turned on the jets and floated right underneath that thing and made it look perfect.
Flag.
Tie ball game.
Offense there's 2 flags against Butler. Both of them declined, obviously. And 7-7 game with 4:04 to play in the first quarter. And
starting all over again.
Start over again. I like it. And, I mean, we talked about both these teams. They put up points. They both scoring a lot. They a lot of offense. So we expected some points to be scored.
Yeah, Butler came into this one giving up 20 a game, and Kilgore came in giving up about 14 a game. So
right,
both offenses right now have kind of been the story of the game so far, been able to move the ball a bit. Kilgore now up to 93 yards of total offense. There's still 4 minutes left in the first quarter. You're on pace for over 400 yards of offense. It's a good day.
And they almost have, half of what they're averaging in the air on a game?
157 is what they average a game. Right now they're at 54.
So about a third of it already.
And they're only 11 minutes into the game.
We'll see now. First kickoff of the game for the Rangers. It's a short kick. And it's touched. Man, if he didn't touch that and he lets it go out of bounds, it's a penalty, and the ball is going to be placed up, the 30-yard line?
35.
Or 35,
the problem there, I understand exactly what he was thinking. He thinks it's going out of bounds, but he doesn't know if he has enough time to let it get there because the defense is barreling down on him so hard. And so I understand exactly the predicament he's in because he wants to let it go out of bounds, but at the same time, if it doesn't go out of bounds and he piddles around back there long enough, that's a live ball. It's got him in a really bad spot.
Yeah, for sure. So now it's going to be first down at the 10-yard line instead of the 35. So we'll see. Butler had really good field position to start their opening drive. See what they do here with not so great field position. And there's a loss of a yard by Dingle on that carry. So nice play up front once again by the Rangers defense.
Yeah, early on the game felt like it had a little bit of momentum for Butler. And Kilgore's kind of taking that back.
Approaching 3.5 minutes to play in the first quarter here in Commerce. There's a deep pass by Myers down the middle of the field. And he had 2 receivers. I don't know if both of them were supposed to be there or if that was a –
It's the same thing I was thinking. I think somebody did the wrong thing there. I don't think you're supposed to have 2 receivers.
Because what that did was it obviously brought 2 defenders right there at the same place. You had man-to-man coverage, and it really messed up that whole
he basically
thought
told
process.
Them, hey, you guys go meet at the logo at midfield. I'm just gonna chunk it up and see which one of you can get it. Yeah, I think one of them wasn't supposed to be there.
So now it's 3rd down and 11. We'll see what the Grizzlies do here. Myers under pressure, and he's going to go down. Coming untouched around that left side was Derek Morning, the linebacker. And by the time Myers turned around, he was right there, and Myers tried ducking under him and fell to the ground.
Yeah, Morning, a 6'3", 228-pound linebacker out of Katy, Texas. He didn't get the sack, but for all intents and purposes, he did. He didn't make the tackle, but it was his pressure that caused it.
So there we go. It's going to be
suddenly Kilgore is in good shape again.
Yeah, and this is one of those dangerous punt situations where you're standing on the back of your end zone and almost gets to it. Somehow he gets that away, and it takes a nice Butler bounce all the way inside the 40, picked up there and getting up near midfield.
Well, I tell you what.
Willie McCoy.
Yeah, Willie McCoy didn't have much he could do there. But if you're Butler, you're really happy with the outcome of that play. You're thinking you're kicking your ball out of your own end zone. Your ankle's on the back of it. And for that ball to go all the way downfield and now be spotted at the other 44, I believe. 47.
Yeah.
Well, you get that thing on the other side of the field from the position you were in, you'll take that all day.
Absolutely. And like I said, I don't know how he got that away because
a lot of pressure.
Lots of pressure from that Kilgore line. Now Kilgore with great starting field position. Let's see what they can do offensively after going down and scoring on their last time they had the ball. Looked like maybe a busted play. It's hard to tell. Holtzclaw looked like maybe he was trying to hand it off, and there was a miscommunication maybe between him and Davenport, and he winds up keeping it, barely lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. .204 and counting here in the first quarter. Pistol formation. Davenport, big hole on that right side. He's going to be close to a first down. Finally brought down by Mason Thrash.
Well, it's just some great blocking on that right side of the field there. Vincent Peters, 6'2", 305-pound sophomore out of Linden, Texas. He was a good 7-8 yards downfield, pushing a man down and looking for another one. That's a great block.
Absolutely, and they are going to give him the first down. That's the 5th first down of the game for Kilgore. Up and down game, exactly like what we thought it would be, 7-7. We approach the final minute of this first quarter. There's a strike thrown down the middle of the field, caught by Anthony Isom inside the 25.
It's a nice throw.
Yeah. Man.
Right in the middle of some zone defense down there. He found a little open spot and just drilled it right in the middle of it. Great pass.
Butler with just 13 passing yards, which is kind of what we thought. We thought it would be a low passing yard game, but Kilgore already up to 72, which is not what we thought. And then you come back with Davenport, and he gets another 10 on the ground.
Great run. Again, just great blocking downfield. You got Obi Matt had a ball.
They said the ball came out. Now we haven't got a signal from officials.
Players are saying that. None of the officials look like they think a ball was down.
Yeah, none of them came in, and they just pointed to Kilgore's direction, saying they retained the ball at the 15.
Again, just great blocking on that right side of the Kilgore offensive line. Davenport just had his hand on the back of an offensive lineman, just guiding him all the way down the field there like a snowplow through that Butler defense.
Davenport with 40 yards on the ground already. I'm sorry, 50. That last 10 wasn't factored in.
He's averaged 6 carries, 50 yards. That's 8.3 a carry. That'll get it done.
Yes, it will. You'd average 8.3, you're going to get first down.
Yes.
I'm just after every 2 carries, you're going to get a first down. There's a pass to the end zone, and that one's going to be almost intercepted. Wow. And I'll tell you what happened there was McCoy did a great job, the receiver for Kilgore, coming back and playing defense because the ball should have been intercepted.
Yeah.
Was that Caleb Brown that had the chance
there
with that interception? And he goes up, and McCoy sees that and does a great job of knocking it down.
Yeah, McCoy just trading positions for a second, becoming the DB, and knocked that one out.
Second down and 10. Now you go back to Davenport on the ground. He's going to get a couple.
Runs wide on that right side. We've seen so much success there on the right side off right guard, but tried to go off right tackle that time, and Butler just did a really good job. It's a short side of the field, so you kind of have that out of bounds as another player out there for you. Did a great job just kind of pushing that play wide, not letting him have any cutback lanes, and eventually the field runs out.
Yeah, and with it being, as you said, on the right hash and going to the right side, you don't have a lot of room out there. And the defense for Butler did a good job of pushing him that direction. Oh, wow.
Good blocking.
Yeah, nice play there, getting into the backfield. Barry was back there and forcing Holtzclaw to just kind of tuck it and try and run and not get the first down. So after getting the ball 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. The Grizzlies did a good job defensively there to now force a field goal attempt.
I believe that was Caden Meredith, running back for Kilgore. They had a Longview, Texas, picked up a blitz and flipped a guy right there in front of the play, but just nowhere to go. Butler's defense did a really good job snuffing that out. And well, you look at what Butler's done over the last couple of minutes of the game here. As the clock's ticking down, they're going to try to get this off before the end of it.
They are not going to.
But you look at what Butler's done here at the end of it. They were punting out of their own end zone not too long ago. And to force Kilgore to have to only kick a field goal here is a good job.
Absolutely. So Baldezo will attempt a field goal, we assume, at the start of the second quarter with the wind in his back, which is probably another reason why they flipped the field. So we're going to come back with the second quarter right after this. It's 7-7 here in Commerce.
TIPS, the interlocal purchasing system, is efficient, effective, and economical. Purchasing is a necessary activity for any business or organization. TIPS provides a proven process to eliminate purchasing-related stress for governmental entities and provides a simplified purchasing experience for school districts and vendors. Contact TIPS. Let them simplify your life. www.tips-usa.com.
Colby King to kick off. Taken at the goal line and going to return it out is Caleb Brown. And maybe not the best idea.
Yeah, that was probably one you want to let go, but I think he caught that one on about the 1 and realized that he was outside of the end zone when he caught it.
Yeah.
So at that point, it's too late for him to down the ball, so he had to bring it back. But we heard up here in the booth, we heard a bang. I'm assuming that's one of the coaches saying the same thing we were thinking.
Probably just let that go and it gets into the end zone for a touchback. Don't even try and catch it.
Force yourself into a bad scenario catching a kickoff on the 1.
Of course, you're looking up at the sky, and you're not necessarily knowing where you're at. So sometimes you have to rely on teammates to tell you, yelling at you, hey, let it go. Don't answer or don't answer it. Don't catch it. Myers is going to throw it down the sideline and fighting for it, and having good position to make the catch was Jalen Travis, but he just dropped it.
Well, yeah, it's kind of a moon pass there. Just kind of brought some rain with it, hung it up in the air, and let them both go up and make a play. And Travis had both hands on it. Travis is a 6-foot freshman, 200 pounds out of Mansfield. We've heard quite a few players today out of Mansfield. But
Garrett Cobbs was in on the coverage, but I feel like it was more of a just dropped ball by Travis.
Yeah, definitely.
It was a run to the right side. We're up 3rd down and long, and that's another thing in this game that if you look at it, Butler's put themselves in some 3rd down and long situations, and they haven't been able to quite convert on those. It's they've been able to convert on the manageable 3rd downs, but once they get to those long situations, they've had trouble doing that. So we'll see what they do here with a 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, they've given up 3 sacks already today, and they've also had 2 penalties. So that's 5 negative plays there. We just started the second quarter.
And Myers under pressure. He's going to keep it himself, and he's going to be brought down. There's another negative play as he's going to be brought down for a 2-yard loss. And he's running, so does that count as a sack still if it's a quarterback going to tuck it and try and run?
If he tucks and runs, it becomes running yardage, right?
I think so. So we'll see. Either way, it is another negative play. And that'll bring out the punting unit. A little bit better punting this time for Butler than what they had last time when they were punting from the back of their end zone. A little bit more room. He's actually standing on the goal line. But a kick into the wind, and it is going to be a short kick. It's going to die inside the 40, so Kilgore is going to take over with great field position once again.
Yeah, it's a golden opportunity for Kilgore to put up some points here on the board. With on a game they already lead 10-7 and have kind of controlled things. 134 yards of total offense. Butler only with 52 so far.
13 minutes to play in the first half here in Commerce, Texas, home of Texas A&M Commerce Lions, Memorial Stadium. Greg Higgins, Brock Calloway coming to you outside of the elements.
Yes.
We don't have to deal with that wind. Handoff and some patient waiting and running, waiting for the blocks by Davenport. And gains about 4 yards on the play. Davenport with 57 yards on the ground.
Nice day for Davenport, yeah. Averaging close to 100 yards a game. He's well on his way there today. With only 12:35 remaining in the first half still.
Of course, the Lions. I'm used to calling Commerce games, see? Kilgore already with over 130 yards on the game. Make that over 140 as that pass is complete to Isom.
It's his third catch of the game. He's having a nice day. Up around 30 yards.
That's going to take the ball inside the 30 down to 27 for a first down.
Isom's been targeted 3 times today, caught all 3 passes. Holtzclaw now 6 of 9 for 81 yards and a touchdown.
And Holtzclaw's got a good arm.
Really nice day, 67% completion percentage, a quarterback rating of 178.9. It's a nice day so far.
That seems like a good quarterback rating.
That works.
Hand off to Davenport. It gets run out of bounds, hit hard.
Well, I like Davenport.
Inside the 25.
He can get that corner even when there's not much there. He can still get the corner and turn upfield and pick up like there. Not a whole lot of running room, but it's still 4 yards on the ground. Just 4 yards and put yourself in a really manageable 2nd and 6.
Very nice running by Davenport. There again, going to the short side of the field. You don't see that. I mean, you see it some, but you don't see it a lot. But
right.
Kilgore's done that a lot in this game.
Yeah.
Going to the short side of the field.
You'll hear coaches. Some coaches won't do that. Some will and say they don't care. It's where the bodies are at, right? If they don't have the bodies over on that side of the field, then it's not that big of an issue.
Davenport once again gets across the 20, and a nice shoestring tackle made on that near side by Forson. Otherwise, he may have been in the end zone.
And part of the reason Kilgore is running to that short side of the field is I think what happens, they're having so much success on that right side that they'll run it to the right, and once they get on that right hash, they want to keep running to that right side because they're having so much success, and they don't care almost if it's the short side of the field because that's where their money's at. They know where it's at.
You get 4 or 5 yards of carry, I mean, you're going to move the chains, and that's what it's about. Holtzclaw under pressure, gets it away, and nice catch, wrestled away as both players come down with it, but Marcus Vinson, the tight end, wrestles it away from the defender.
It's a tough catch.
And unfortunately, because they came so far upfield and he turned it back around, that it's going to be a 4th down and a couple. Now, the officials are meeting on this near side.
Oh, we got I believe they were sending out the kicking team. And Holtzclaw was telling the kicking team to get off the field. So there's a little bit of a confusion there. I think Holtzclaw is saying, no, we ain't kicking. The coach said, son, I'm the one with the hat. We are kicking.
Yeah, they're about a half yard short, it looks like, for the first down. So they are going to kick it.
And Willie Golden's going to win that discussion every time.
Right. Valdezo to try a 35-yard from the right hash. And there is flags down. I think there was some movement, and I think it's going to be a false start penalty. That's exactly what it is. So now you back him up, and that kick was good, and it would have been good from 40 easily. But now it makes you wonder, are you going to try a 40-yarder?
I bet they do here. That wind appears to be blowing behind their back still directly.
Yeah.
It's okay as long as even if it's in your face, if it's directly in your face, it's those side winds that get a little tricky, and I don't think he's going to be dealing with that any right now.
Yeah, it looks like it's right behind him, so now it'll be a 40-yard attempt from the right hash from Baldezo. Already hit one. There's another low snap, and that one's not going to be good, and that's because of the snap.
That's 2 in a row. We've seen the last time they were able to pull it up and convert it, but that one was a little tougher. It really never got off the ground, and that's a tougher one to get up. When it's kind of bouncing towards you a little off the ground, it's a little easier to get it and get it down, but when those footballs are shaped a little odd, so they do weird bounces
yes.
when they're on the ground, and that's what that one was there.
And the give Butler credit, they were back there so fast, that line, that they had to rush it. The punter, Diego Gonzalez, had to rush trying to get the ball set, and I don't think he got it set perfectly, and that's why you saw the kick from Baldezo go short and left.
And that's something to keep an eye on, too, as this game goes on, is Willie Golden's going to remember that the first 2 snaps were rough.
Yeah.
So if you've got another 4th and 1 at a questionable spot on the field like that, you may see him going for it next time.
There's a handoff up the middle and a nice run by Dingle. Gains 8 yards on first down. Yeah, you're right. You see that a lot in other games and colleges and in professional levels, that if you see some bad snaps or some field goal issues, as you get a first down run by Dingle up to the 35, that there's usually some changes made going forward.
Yeah.
9.5 to play in the first half. First down and 10 for Butler. Butler with just 64 total yards of offense right now.
Yeah, this game's been all Kilgore so far. It's still only a 3-point lead. If you're Butler, you got to be happy with that.
Dingle once again with some nice running and another 9-yard gain on first down. That's back-to-back first down plays that he's gained 9 yards.
That's 10 carries for 43 yards so far for Dingle, having a nice day.
There he is again, and he's going to fight his way forward. I think he's going to have the first down.
Yeah, it does look like he's got it. They're moving it.
A missed field goal. And the missed field goal, you could blame the snap or whatever, but the reality is the problem was the penalty,
right,
because that backed him up to 5 yards. It was 4th down and 1. You had the false start penalty on the field goal. The field goal kick was good. It was perfect snap and everything.
Taking points off the board.
Took the points off the board because of that penalty. And so you do have a long snapper over here practicing on the sideline.
Well, if you're Kilgore, you got to be a little bit concerned right now. We see this so often where it feels like one team is just in complete control of the game, but then you look up at the scoreboard, it's a 3-point game, and Butler's got the ball. I mean, they score a touchdown here, and somehow, even though Kilgore's really controlled the game, they could be actually behind right now.
And they're going to call a delay of game penalty, but I think we got a timeout taken. And we did. We have a timeout taken right before the penalty. So we'll step aside with them. It's 10-7, 8 minutes to play here in the first half.
We are Lions. We are champions of the determined and a beacon for those wanting a life more fulfilling. We've understood that success isn't born from a wish and a dream, but having a will to forge a way. Why are we so confident? Because we've always turned grit into greatness and determination into deeds. We are commerce. We are Lions.
.07 to play here in the first half. Coming out of the timeout, it's going to be first down and 10 at the 45-yard line for the Grizzlies. See what they dialed up during that timeout. Myers is going to get sacked. That's the dialed up. Kilgore on the other side. Vincent Page comes through and just levels Myers on that sack.
Yeah, Page, 6'2", 225-pound freshman out of Denton, Texas. It's a nice play there. Got a lot of pressure back there on him quick and just nowhere to go with it. Myers had nothing to go.
And that was another one. We saw it happen earlier on the goal line where he goes back and to pass the ball, and when he turns around, the defender is right there, and he has nothing to do. There's nothing you can do about that. There's a handoff to Dingle, and bottled up in the backfield for another loss. And just as we were talking about them moving the ball and making forward progress, it's third down and a long ways after two back-to-back plays of losing yardage.
Yeah, we talked coming into the game, Kilgore only giving up 68 rushing yards a game. You're starting to see why. They're really good up front. They were able to push that offensive line around a little bit this possession here, and Dingle just can't get rolling.
5 sacks already on the game. 7 tackles for loss for this Kilgore defense for 31 yards. There's Myers across the field, and nice play broken up on that far side by Jeffaniah Lister.
Well, we mentioned his name a couple times.
Yeah.
He's had a really good game.
From Longview, Texas.
The Lobos.
Right up the road from Kilgore.
Yes. Longview's been a really good program for a long time. There's a lot of good players come out of Longview.
Yeah, absolutely. So on to punt once again. And getting it away.
He barely got it off.
That's the third time we've seen the Kilgore defense almost in the backfield trying to block that punt.
Yeah, they've definitely seen something on tape that they know how to get through there. They're sniffing it every single time so far today.
Adam Young back there. So it's going to be first down and 10. 6.5 minutes to play in the first half. You know, this game started off, we thought it might be a little bit high scoring, but now the defenses have kind of settled in and kind of putting their mark on this game.
It's completely changed, yeah. It's one of those things I think you kind of start seeing what the other team's going to do, and you got stuff kind of called up for it and ready. And now that you know what's going on out there, it's both teams have really settled in and defensively, and these offenses aren't moving the ball like they were early.
Kendalen Wilson dropped that pass, but he had to pick it up because it was close to being a lateral. The official right there is saying, no, it's an incomplete pass. Last time Kilgore was here, I believe, for this bowl game, didn't the Lionhead cover like the entire field?
I believe it did, yeah.
There's
the 25 to 25.
Yeah, it was the biggest logo I've ever seen in my life.
It was you could see it from satellite photos I saw.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing, calling games during when that logo, it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
The penalty flag goes up, you never see it.
Right.
It's the exact same color, and it just blends in with everything. And
I never did
half the games or half the plays would be delayed, and we're trying to figure out what's happening. Oh,
yeah,
there's a penalty,
penalty.
Somewhere in the middle of that 25 yards of yellow.
I never did a college game, but I did a lot of high school games during that time up here, and the same thing.
It was not easy.
Third down and 11 for the Rangers. Holtzclaw set up a screen to Davenport, breaking one tackle, and that's it. Short gain, and the Rangers are going to have to punt. So both defenses, as we just talked about, on cue, really doing a good job bottling up and not allowing the big play here in the second. Kilgore punter Diego Gonzalez, sophomore from Silsbee, Texas. Because you have no somebody guarding the gunner over here on the right. Oh, and then they
There
sent
they
somebody.
go.
I was like, man, that could be a.
You had a fake call. That's perfect.
That would be at a perfect time for a fake. Nice kick, line drive, taken at the 22-yard line.
Oh.
And wrestled out of bounds. A.J. King with the return. Nice big football hit.
We appreciate everybody tuning in on YouTube right now. Just pulled it up. Looks like there's about 300 people watching.
Awesome. Yeah, glad to have everybody watching. It's a good one. First down and 10 from the 29-yard line. Heart of Texas Bowl. Myers under pressure, and he's going to get brought down again.
Boy, that Kilgore's just bringing the heat, aren't they?
They really are.
The game.
Myers slow to get up.
I don't blame him. He's had a rough day back there. There's been a lot of pressure.
Yeah, and
hope he's okay.
Kind of got hit by a couple of people. Yeah.
When you have somebody hitting you at the top and the bottom, a lot of times that can bend you in ways your body's not supposed to be bent.
Yeah, exactly. So, tending to him. I'll tell you what, let's take a quick timeout here. Crowd enjoying themselves here in Commerce. This bowl game between number 11 Butler College and number 7 Kilgore College. As Myers being helped off the field after that sack. I would assume Jake Wolf would come back in, but I don't know if he left because of an injury. He started the game.
Well, he's got his arms around two different coaches, walking very gingerly. I don't think he's going to be back anytime soon.
Yeah, Myers, that is.
Or Myers,
yeah.
And with only 4 minutes left in the half, you'd think he'd probably just sit this one out and hopefully get some treatment on it during halftime and maybe able to come back out second half.
Yeah, Jake Wolf is back in there, the freshman from Kansas City. He started the game, and after the first series, somewhere in the second series, he was replaced by Jacoby Myers, who's done a pretty good job. But then after that sack, he goes out, and Wolf, a little bit of miscommunication, and he just throws it into the ground.
Yeah, he had a screen called out there to the left side, but Kilgore had it played perfectly, and instead of risking an interception, like you said, he just got rid of that one. Yeah.
He turned around like he was going to hand it off, but there was nobody there, and then he turned around looking for the screen, and like you said, he just had to get rid of it because Kilgore was right there. So it's going to be up 3rd down and 18. That's not an easy place to come in as a quarterback.
Not at all.
Pistol formation. There's just a handoff on a draw play.
Almost broke that one.
He did. I mean, if you got a player like Dingle back there, I mean, 3rd and 18, he can bust those.
Yeah, definitely. And you also want to be safe, and with Kilgore only with a 3-point lead here, even though we've talked about, statistically they've kind of ran away with this one, but on the scoreboard where it matters, they have it.
Yeah.
And last thing you want to do if you're Butler is to throw some kind of a Hail Mary here, trying to convert a 3rd and long and giving up an interception and give Kilgore more points right off the bat, right before halftime. That's the last thing you want to do. So that's probably a smart play there by Wolf, getting rid of that one.
Another punt into the wind.
It's a better one.
Good punt, taking at the 40-yard line. And still on his feet across midfield, looking for a block. He's down the sideline. He might go.
Willie McCoy.
He's going to walk into the end zone. Willie McCoy.
Well, I was just talking about the last thing you want to do is give up some points to Kilgore right before halftime on an interception, but they do it off the punt return there. That's a great play there by McCoy. Caught that ball at about the 40-yard line or so. That's about a 60-yard return, but I'm not sure if he was ever touched. Just got to that right sideline, and it was gone.
That's his second touchdown. He had that 38-yard touchdown reception in the first quarter, and just like that, extra point away from making this a 10-point game.
Yeah, you talk about the two biggest plays of this game was that Willie McCoy 38-yard touchdown and the Willie McCoy 60-yard punt return for a touchdown. So that's if you're looking for the guy that's been all the difference in the world today, it's Willie McCoy.
Extra point is good. And I'll tell you, the thing that it's not going to get overshadowed, obviously, but the fact that there's been 6 sacks by this Kilgore defense in the first half.
8 tackles for loss.
Yeah, that's been a lot of the key because we talked about it earlier, and we just saw it right there. Those tackles for losses, those sacks have really backed Butler up, and they've put them behind the 8 ball. And that 3rd and 18, they're not able to convert it. They punt it, kickoff or punt return for a touchdown. That's been the type of plays that we've seen where Kilgore has gotten the ball in really good field position thanks to those defensive stops.
Yeah, it just, when we came into this game talking about how important the running game is going to be for both of these teams. And from Butler's point of view, all those sacks and those tackles for loss, that's 8 negative plays already with 3 minutes to go left the first half. When you're behind the chains that far 8 times in the first half, it's tough to get that running game going because you find yourself in these second longs and third longs where the running game really isn't much more than just a token to get some more yardage so you get the punt off, right?
Tackle for loss, 8 for 39 yards. On the other side, only 2 tackles for loss for just 1 yard. I mean, that's a big difference in the game, right? It's almost half the field that you've given up in yardage. So now we'll see.
Kilgore's got the 39 yards on the tackles for losses is more than half the total offense for Butler.
Right. And Butler, we'll see. They get the ball here, a nice return back, and
nice
a huge hit. Wow.
Well, he had a little steam built up, but he hit the tracks pretty quick there.
Yeah, A.J. King brought down pretty hard. The number 29 on that tackle, Kobe Jones. And Butler now with 3 minutes to play, they've got 2 timeouts, and they get the ball coming out of the second half. So if you can somehow get something here,
sure,
you've got. I mean, you're only down by 10 points.
Right.
You're definitely not out of this game at all. But they've got to get some momentum going. Oh, and there's one that, man, Dingle wants that one back.
Yeah, he had all the room in the world in front of him and just couldn't keep his feet under him.
And he tried going up the middle. He saw that open on the left side, and as soon as he planted, you saw his feet just kind of give out from underneath him. And,
he
man,
was able to get to that left edge, he might have gone.
Yeah, there was nobody over here. As it is, it goes for a 2-yard gain for Dingle. He's going to try it again, and this time a nice tackle at the line of scrimmage.
Well, Kilgore has found out how to bring Dingle down.
Yeah.
Don't tackle the guy high. He's way too big. That 220 pounds, that does not come down easy. Take the legs out.
DeMarcus Crosby on that tackle for Kilgore. They're down at 4. He still got 4 yards on that play somehow, Dingle.
Right.
Just crazy how fast he is. Here he is again, and there's another tackle.
Tripped up again.
Tripped up, like you said. They figured out how to do it. This time it looked like maybe it was Derek Mourning, the linebacker, and he's slow to get up. He's finally going to get up. And
stopping the clock here. I'm going to guess this is a
it's because of Mourning injury, so they stopped it.
Maybe Kilgore was trying to stop the clock. There's still 1 minute and 40 left. Kilgore's got all 3 timeouts left. That's plenty of time to get a nice little return here.
Or another. I mean, they just had a punt return for a touchdown, so why not?
Back again.
Yeah, you got, like you said, 1 minute 40. You're up by 10.
All 3 timeouts left. You're going to get the ball somewhere around the, just average return around the 40 or so. It's plenty of time with 3 timeouts left. And they're not taking it. The clock's running down here.
Yeah, it is. It's surprising.
And Butler's just fine with that.
Yeah, because the play clock.
I'm not sure what Kilgore's doing. They take the timeout now, but they wasted a good 20 seconds there.
Yeah, I think they realized that Butler could have taken this all the way down to about a minute on the clock before they kicked it.
And Butler was doing exactly what they should have done. Once you see that clock moving, if Kilgore's not going to take a timeout, let it run.
25 seconds went off the clock.
Yeah.
Because it was 1:49.
Yeah.
And now you're at 1:24, so they allowed 25 seconds off the clock.
You got to kind of wonder here at the end of the first half, if they're close to scoring in those 25 seconds, they may be coming up big later on when they didn't have it.
Total yards so far in the game, 155 for Kilgore to only 70 for Butler. Kilgore deep. We talked about at the top of this game that both these teams can score and move the ball, but it's going to come down to the defense that executes the best that wins this game. And so far, the Kilgore Rangers have been that team that have done the executing on that defensive side.
Yeah, they really have. I mean, Butler came into this game, just pounding the rock. They're running for 180 yards a game. They're sitting at 57 at the end of the first half. So Kilgore is well ahead of schedule. Kilgore only gives up 68 a game, so they're obviously giving up more than they're used to. But in the end, 17-7 is all that matters.
Yeah,
that defense has been a huge part of it.
So now we're back to the action with 1:24 to play in the half. And once again, Kilgore almost there.
Close every time.
The ball's going to roll dead at the 33-yard line. So now you get the ball with 1:11, and so 13 seconds off the clock during that play, but you allowed the 25 seconds. So now we'll see what they do. They got 2 timeouts. I would imagine you try a couple.
Willie McCoy.
Yeah, try and get a couple big plays, and if
Willie
it doesn't
McCoy.
work, you just kneel it out. Because you don't want to give Butler the ball back.
Oh,
either.
definitely, yeah.
Of course, Butler has 2 timeouts, so a little management here because they might be thinking that too. To get a defensive stop, maybe, or they might look at taking a timeout.
If I'm the head coach, which I'm obviously not, I'm gonna try one deep to Willie McCoy. And right now, you got single coverage out wide and a safety in the middle, so there's a shot to take out there with Willie on the right. That's exactly what they're doing.
Perfect call there. Oh, and almost a one-handed catch. Oh, man. That was perfect coverage, though, by Caleb Brown.
Great coverage there by Kalen Brown. And perfect throw. That's a perfect throw there.
Man, McCoy. And they did exactly what you said. I mean, they had the perfect opportunity because it was man-to-man coverage. And McCoy's already beaten him once this way, and you've seen his speed.
Holtzclaw saw exactly what he should have seen and did it the exact same way, too. Dropped back into coverage. He looks to his left, trying to pull that safety over to the left side to make sure on that right side it's one man-to-man down that sideline. He had exactly what he wanted, threw a perfect ball, just not able to complete it.
Holtzclaw looking once again. This time he's going to throw it to the far side. Oh, and just overthrows the intended receiver, Issam.
He's been big today, too.
Yes, he has.
3 catches, 28 yards. That's the first time they targeted him 3 times before that play. He had caught all 3, so that's the first time they've thrown it to Issam today that it wasn't caught.
Now you've got a 3rd down and 10, so now, under a minute, but 57 seconds. Now if you're on the other side, the Grizzlies, you might start thinking, well, maybe
it's our turn.
Maybe we'll get the ball back still again.
Right. You got Caden Meredith in at running back. You got to wonder if they're going to hand it off up the middle, try to run the clock. No, they're going to go for it.
And Holtzclaw under pressure, and he's going to keep it himself and just get tackled at the 40-yard line. And I don't see a signal for a timeout by anybody. And
let's see here. That was number 51. That's James Smith, 6'1", 260-pound freshman out of Lawrenceville, Georgia. That's a great play. Holtzclaw had some room in front of him to convert that first down and keep it going, but he caught him from behind. That's just a great effort play there. And Butler's going to get the ball back.
And I don't know, timeout was taken by Kilgore, and I don't understand that.
Yeah, that is a bit confusing.
Why Kilgore would take that timeout, because you could have ran this all the way down to 10 seconds before you punted the ball. But for some reason, there was a timeout taken. It's 4th down and 3.
It is odd that they would take the timeout here when you want to run the clock as opposed to a few plays back when you wanted to stop the clock.
Yeah, right. I don't understand that. The only thing I can think of is maybe it wasn't a coach call. Maybe the player jumped up and called it, not thinking it was 4th down.
That may be it, because you did see Willie Golden out on the field a little upset at the end of that play, and that might be what he was upset about.
Yeah, possibly.
Why are we calling a timeout there? Yeah.
Yeah, and that may just be one of those things where you don't realize what the.
And that'll happen. I mean, sometimes these kids get,
Well, man, it last year. Tom Brady. It happened with Brady in the NFL.
Guys, yeah.
I mean, guys won, more Super Bowls than
the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. Will make a head scratcher every once in a while. So
exactly.
He
thought it was
understandable.
Yeah. So that happens. He thought it was 3rd down when it was a 4th down play, and he threw it away thinking he had another play.
Right.
And yeah, so
it'll happen.
So it's going to be 4th down and 3, 43 seconds. So they call that timeout immediately after the play was over. They put a little bit of time back on the clock. There's a bobbled snap.
Good job getting it away.
Very good. That's going to take a nice roll all the way inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
Diego Gonzalez, we mentioned him earlier in the game with that doing a great job getting the snap up off the ground to get that field goal through the uprights, and there he does a great job right there on the punt. It looked like that was going to be blocked for sure. And again, a low snap.
Yeah.
The snaps have been killing Kilgore today.
46-yard punt down at the 14-yard line, 30 seconds. And now you might try one. You just want to be careful here not to turn it over.
Yeah, this is probably a down it and get out of here type of scenario.
Yeah, that's what it looks like they're going to line up in the – I mean, here it's called victory formation, but it's definitely not a victory formation at halftime.
Right.
Just kind of kneel it, take it. They get the ball to start the second half.
Yes.
So it's not a bad idea because we're going to get the ball back. We're going to get it to start it.
Right there. You're not going to do anything with 24 seconds left.
Yeah, exactly.
One timeout or 2 timeouts and the entire length of the field to go. It's the right thing.
So Kilgore leading this one 17-7 at the half. It's a game in which they dominated so far. statistically. And I say only a 10-point game at the half, but that's what it is. It feels like it should be a lot more. You had the missed extra points. You had some miscues. You feel like it should be a bigger lead than what it is, but it's not. And so you got 20 minutes to talk it over and find out what happens coming out in the second half. So that's going to take us to halftime, 17-7. Don't go anywhere. We got halftime and the second half coming up.
What does better mean to you? Better is personal. Better is community. Better is connection. Better is Butler. Butler Community College. Ready for better.
Say that life is a journey. At Kilgore College, we agree. It's a journey about finding your way, about turning challenges into opportunities. It's a journey of friendships and relationships that will last a lifetime. It's about discovering what you're passionate about. It's preparing you for tomorrow. Kilgore College can be your one-way that propels you into a successful and rewarding career. With affordable programs in career certification, public service, essential trades, the arts, and so many more. Kilgore College, over 85 years helping people just like you. Remember that the pathway you follow is the one you create for yourself. In the end, it's about living a life you can be proud of. At Kilgore College, your journey starts here.
CHAMPS, Communities Helping Americans Mature, Progress, and Succeed, is a school-based program committed to being a part of America's solution, not America's problems. CHAMPS provides information on anti-bullying, teen suicide, the abuse of alcohol, and illicit drugs. You're not in this alone. At www.champsassembly.com, we tell our story. TIPS, the interlocal purchasing system, is efficient, effective, and economical. Purchasing is a necessary activity for any business or organization. TIPS provides a proven process to eliminate purchasing-related stress for governmental entities and provides a simplified purchasing experience for school districts and vendors. Contact TIPS. Let them simplify your life. www.tips-usa.com. Founded in 2002, the Welch Foundation has awarded over 100 scholarships worth over $66,000. In 2012, the Board of Directors extended its support of education with Teacher Appreciation Awards voted by the students. The Welch Foundation, leading the way and making a difference in education in Central Texas.
We are lions. We are champions of the determined and a beacon for those wanting a life more fulfilling. We've understood that success isn't born from a wish and a dream, but having a will to forge a way. Why are we so confident? Because we've always turned grit into greatness and determination into deeds. We are commerce. We are lions.
What does better mean to you? Better is personal. Better is community. Better is connection. Better is Butler. Butler Community College. Ready for better.
Say that life is a journey. At Kilgore College, we agree. It's a journey about finding your way, about turning challenges into opportunities. It's a journey of friendships and relationships that will last a lifetime. It's about discovering what you're passionate about. It's preparing you for tomorrow. Kilgore College can be your one way that propels you into a successful and rewarding career. With affordable programs in career certification, public service, essential trades, the arts, and so many more. Kilgore College, over 85 years helping people just like you. Remember that the pathway you follow is the one you create for yourself. In the end, it's about living a life you can be proud of. At Kilgore College, your journey starts here.
Both teams warming up here as we get set for the third quarter. Kilgore on top 17-7. And, Brock, we talked about at the end of the half how it feels like it could be a lot more than that.
Yeah, it really does. And I think if you're Butler, that's one of the things you have to be happy about. That first half was really dominated by Kilgore, in most of the stats across the game there. But 17-7, it's a 10-point game. That's nothing. I mean, you can score 10 points easy here in the first couple of drives, and you're right back at it. Butler's going to get the ball first here on the kickoff, but definitely not out of range at all. But like I said, Kilgore feels like they should be further out. But if you're a Butler fan, that's a good thing. That's only a 10-point game. That's definitely still in reach.
So what do you if you're each coach during the half, what are you telling your team there at the half if you're Kilgore or if you're Butler?
Yeah, I think if you're Kilgore, you're just telling them, hey, keep running the ball, they're just doing exactly what they've done to get here, right? They've played great defense. They've ran the ball really well, and Willie McCoy has been kind of the player of the game so far with a punt return for a touchdown and a 38-yard touchdown catch, both the biggest two plays of the game so far. They were both Willie McCoy. So far it's been kind of a put them to sleep with the run if you're Kilgore, and then hit them deep with the deep passes, which they've done a good job with. If you're Butler, you got to get something going offensively, though. Butler's really struggled to get much out of it. 35 plays, only 69 total yards, so you're looking at less than 2 yards a play. So they've got to get something going. You flip it over to Kilgore's side, 29 plays, 162 yards. That's exactly what you want to see. They're up over 5 yards a play, so you're getting a first down every 2 plays on average. So yeah. Kilgore's offense has done really, really well. They just got to get things going.
Yeah, we'll see what they do. Butler will get the ball first, and they'll have the wind in their back here in the third quarter. See if that helps or not. It's pretty steady wind. The flag is just straight out, pointing towards the south here in Commerce. Kickoff taken at the 22-yard line, looking for a block and going to be pushed out of bounds near the 40. So good field position for Butler.
Great start for Butler, right? Starting at the 41-yard line, it's exactly what you want.
Starting here, we'll see. And it looks like it's going to be Jake Wolf back at quarterback. Of course, Wolf started the game, and the second series he was replaced by Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers came in and played pretty good. He didn't complete any passes, but had the leading rusher during that there for a minute. There's a pass is blocked or batted down.
Yeah, Wolf trying to make a quick little slant route across the middle there.
Myers'
out the line.
Stats are kind of deceptive. He's got only 3 yards on the ground, but a lot of that is because of the negative plays, because he had the 19-yard run, and
yes,
he came in and had a really big impact on that drive, the touchdown drive. And here's a handoff up the middle to Dingle.
And really, I think that's if you're Butler, that's what you really need to get going is Dingle, right? I mean, that's the guy that's got you here.
Yeah.
Came into this game 245 yards last week, 4 touchdowns. That's the guy, the horse that rode you in. You've got to get that guy rolling here second half.
Yeah, he's only averaging 3 yards a carry right now, 3.5 yards, and there's another one that's right at the line of scrimmage, and that's going to bring up fourth down, and Butler's going to have to punt.
It's not really what you want. You get that nice kickoff return out to the 41-yard line. You kind of hope that get that things rolling right off the bat there in the second half, and Butler just kind of stalls out there only to pick up about 6 yards in that possession. Now they had to punt the ball back to Kilgore.
And, of course, there again, the Kilgore defense, they got the batted ball on the pass attempt, and then you've got that nice stop, and then there's the punt that's blocked, and it's picked up by Kilgore at the 36-yard line. I don't know if it was blocked or if the punter just dropped it.
I think it was a little bit of both. It looked like he kind of stumbled around and got the ball picked up and off, but then it was tipped at the punt too. And Kilgore just continues. We've seen this all day. They've been this close to getting one all day long, and they finally get back there and get a tip of one.
They're saying that the stats are saying it was blocked by Crosby. And
DeMarcus Crosby, yeah.
recovered by Moore. So just a disastrous start if you're Butler, a tremendous start if you're Kilgore, and let's see if they can take advantage of it. And here's McCoy on an end around and get him the ball, and look at what happens.
All day long he's been doing that, right?
Man.
3 biggest plays of the game so far for Kilgore have all been McCoy.
Just when he is in open space, he can fly.
He's quick.
So there you got all of a sudden ball inside the red zone at the 15-yard line. McCoy with 21 yards on that carry on the end around. Now Holtzclaff's going to keep it himself on a quarterback option. And he may have wished he handed that off. He got hit pretty good on that right side.
Boy, looking up Willie McCoy. Willie McCoy right now is a 3-star prospect. Offers from Houston, Alabama State, Florida International, Fresno State, Central Florida. And the guys, this is not just a guy that kind of burst onto the scene today. This is a guy that everybody's been watching for quite a while now.
You can see why.
Yeah.
He's got the talent for
Western
sure.
Kentucky.
Wow.
The list goes on and on.
It's going to be second down and 9. Play clock under 10 seconds. Hand off the backfield. The first time this half that we've seen Davenport. It's a short gain, so it's going to bring up third down and long. What a man, big start here for Kilgore. Chance to go up by 3 scores if they can get into the end zone. Of course, Butler kind of hoping the best case scenario hold them to a field goal. There's a ball on the ground.
There's a play.
And there is a play for Butler. They needed that.
I believe that was number 96 that pulled that one out. Kalen Lowry, 6'2", 283-pound sophomore out of Wichita, Kansas. That's a Kansas guy playing for Butler there.
Davenport
have it.
Carrying the ball, and it just ripped out. And coming up with it, wow, what a play there by Butler.
That's a huge play for Butler because Kilgore seemed to have everything kind of rolling and get another touchdown to make it 24-7. Things start looking a little bleak for an offense in Butler's side that struggled quite a bit. But to get a play like that and flip the ball back around to your offense, that's huge.
Absolutely. 11:40 to play in the third quarter, and Butler with the ball once again. Foster on that recovery. Davenport with the fumble. Pass down.
That's interference.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's a hold there as the jersey was grabbed. A.J. King, just the back of his jersey. And it might be a good penalty because if he catches that, he's gone.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. That's I think that's going to be Edric Whitley, number 6. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think that's who got him, yeah.
And Whitley, a 6', 177-pound freshman out of Austin.
We'll see
that may be the right, like you said, that may be the right play. He just grabbed the jersey because he knew he was beaten. Yeah. And that ball was just lofted up, waiting for him to run under it.
Right. And the difference is because, correct me if I'm wrong, because the ball was in the air, that's the reason why it's a pass interference.
Correct.
If it had been in the pocket, it would have been a holding because he grabbed the jersey.
Right.
And so because the ball was in the air, then obviously it's pass interference.
And that's the right thing to do. I mean, if you got a 10-point lead, the last thing you want to do is give up an 80-yard touchdown, right?
Right.
You'll give up that little penalty there and live to fight another day.
Wolf is going to pass again, step up into the pocket and be brought down, but after a couple-yard gain, and you can see Kilgore fired up. Michael Jones gets up and fired up after that tackle. a sophomore out of Houston, Texas. See if second down and 8. Another pass batted down.
Another one at the line batted down. Kilgore is just getting their paws on him up there.
So let's bring up third down and 8. And are you surprised to see that Butler's kind of abandoned the running game? I mean, because
it does seem that way in this last second half. Yeah, definitely. I mean, we came into this one knowing that Dingle was such a good running back, and he hasn't had a bad day, really. 17 carries for 62 yards, only 3.6 a carry, but they have definitely kind of gotten away from it.
This is three straight passes, and there's another sack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be the 7th sack of the day for Kilgore.
I say 3 straight passes. The second one goes down as a run, but he did drop back to pass, and then he stepped up and a quarterback scramble.
In terms of what they were trying to do, that was definitely a pass, yeah.
4th down and 17.
It's only a 10-point game. Yeah, I kind of agree with you that getting away from Dingle in the running game this early on, still plenty of time.
So we'll see if they have a better punt this time. Nice, good kick. Taking it to 45 by McCoy.
Good coverage.
Shoestring tackle by Chance Omley.
Very good coverage.
5 minutes gone here in the third quarter. And, you know, I whenever I'm doing high school games and stuff, I always talk about, to me, this first couple of drives in the third quarter are the most critical, because you see what kind of adjustments are made at the halftime, and you see what things are going on. And so I'm going to ask you, Brock, the first couple of plays, first couple of drives, what have you seen as far as adjustments here?
Well, I think from the Butler side, you mentioned it a minute ago, they do seem to have kind of gotten away from their running a bit. They're throwing more than we expected, and Kilgore, like we see right here, is just kind of stuck with what got him here, right? Just the handoffs, the power running game, and playing good defense. Kilgore doesn't really need to make any adjustments. I think they've kind of controlled the game.
Yeah.
Butler at this point is the one that needs to find some kind of a lever to pull to get things rolling, and maybe they feel the passing game is where that's at, and while they have, like we said, kind of moved away from the run towards the pass a bit. But I'm not sure that they're really at a point in the game where they need to do that. It's only a 2-possession game.
Agreed. Caden Meredith in his first carry of the game. Went for 4 yards, and he gets it again. And this time he's going to be bottled up in the backfield and lose some yardage.
Good play there. Just nowhere to go. Tried to bounce it out left, and Butler did a nice job covering all the holes.
So Meredith going to stay back there in the backfield. And there's plenty of time, as we said. It seems weird that if that's what got you there, why you'd abandon it. And maybe they haven't. Maybe it's just, let's try some different stuff, maybe to open it up a little bit.
Maybe they may come out this next possession after the first couple, and where the pass wasn't really working, and get back to Dingle in the running game.
Yeah, exactly. And there is another sack.
That's a big possession there for Butler.
That's the second straight tackle for loss after only having 2 in the first half. There they get 2 on back-to-back plays.
Big play there by Butler.
Yeah, it's going to set up 4th and a long.
It's exactly what you want to do, though. That the offense is struggling a bit. The defense has to start making some bigger plays, and they're coming out and doing it. And if they can get a nice little return here, Butler's cooking a bit. And like we said, only a 2-possession game. Get back to that running game a bit and see if you can make something happen.
4th and 19. And now Kilgore forced to punt. Diego Gonzalez to do it, standing at his own 20. Bringing the rush, and that one off the side of his foot, and it's going to be great field position for Butler. And he had to rush that. There was 4 guys from Butler in his face, and he had to rush that, and it went off the side of his foot. The very first punt did the same thing. He rushed it, and it went off the side of his foot and went out of bounds. And here we get the same thing.
It's been a story of up and downs today for Diego Gonzalez, right?
Right.
Saw him make the big play on the getting the snap down or the hold down on a bad snap. We've seen him get off a huge punt, and then we've seen a couple of shanked punts too. So it's kind of a roller coaster day for him today.
Yeah, and you see it's been that way for special teams on both sides. There's Dingle. He breaks one, and he's gonna get all the way inside the 15-yard line, and there you go. Maybe that's why you pass the ball 4 times, and then you
just trick them into thinking that you've moved to the passing game, right?
And now all of a sudden, first down and goal for the Grizzlies. First down in the red zone is what I meant to say.
And that's the biggest play of the day for a Butler offense that's really struggled. That's a carry of 34 yards.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Dingle's up to 18 carries for 96 yards quietly.
Yeah, we were just saying about how they need to get him more involved. He's in the backfield. He's going to get it again.
Oh, there's nowhere to go.
No, short 1-yard gain.
He's got to get some help up front. We've seen already when you give Dingle a hole, he can hit it and go, but he's got to have that help in front of him. And right now, it's been a rough day for the holes up front.
103 total yards of offense is all that Butler has.
And 100 of that is Dingle.
Right?
97 yards on the ground, and he's got 3 through the air.
Wolf's going to throw it, and the back of the end zone.
Low.
It was low, and really good coverage there by the cornerback Hobbs.
In the right position.
So now it's 3rd down and 9.
I think if you're Wolf, when you've got that defender on the inside like that, you don't want to go low and away from him. You want to lob that one up over the top in that back corner and let the receiver go get it.
Here's Wolf across the middle, and it is caught. There is a flag down, but
that's a touchdown.
Looks like A.J. King comes with the touchdown, and I don't know. I'm assuming it's probably a pass interference.
They threw it right in the area where he caught that ball, so you'd have to think that's what it was.
Maybe a face mask or something.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a hold on the offense or anything. That was where the receiver caught the ball.
What a nice pass from Wolf to King.
And all of a sudden, if Butler can get this extra point up, it's a 3-point game.
They're going to call the penalty personal foul. It was a face mask.
It was a face mask. Good call.
And so I'm assuming that'll be assessed on the kickoff, because I think you do assess that penalty. Obviously, touchdown counts, and they'll do the extra point here, and then I'm assuming the kick it'll be done on the kickoff, which ball is down, kick is up, and we're good. And all of a sudden, we got a brand new game. It's 17-14. We'll be right back after this. Crowds into this one. 3-point ball game, 17-14. After the fumble recovery that really kind of changed the game, because you had a chance. Kilgore had a chance to go in and make this a 3-score game, and that fumble recovery kind of flipping the script. Even though there's been a couple of punt plays back and forth, and now you got a kickoff from the 50-yard line, and Brock, this might be a time where you might see some kind of onside kick or a trickery.
Yeah, especially if you've got momentum the way that Butler does right now. Not a bad time to call one. And they're going to pooch it, it looks like, down to the corner and make a difficult play here.
Oh, they called a timeout right before the kick.
Icing the kickoff, right?
Wow, yeah. That's I wonder if maybe they called the timeout thinking that they were going to do an onside kick, because the way he kind of just stuttered up to the ball, the kicker, it almost looked like maybe it was going to be that.
Yeah.
You
don't see the timeout before a kickoff.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Makes you think they might have had something odd called, like you were talking about, maybe an onside or something, and changed their mind at the last minute and we're trying to stop it.
And obviously, on a pooch kick like that in college football, you can do a fair catch, and then the ball comes out to the 25.
Yeah.
So
doesn't do you any good, really.
No, I mean, I don't understand. I mean, either kick it deep, or maybe you're trying to catch them napping to where the ball lands between a couple of players not paying attention. I just almost think if you're going to do something like that, you almost do the onside kick.
Yeah.
And now they might do it now that the timeout's been called.
Yeah, you don't I can't remember how many times I've ever seen a timeout right before a kickoff like that. Something was up.
Jake Wolf, 4 of 8 for just 23 yards, but he just has that touchdown pass that has Butler within 3 now. And, of course, the face mask penalty on that tackle is the reason why the kickoff is coming from the 50-yard line.
And the kicker is lined up at an odd angle here. I'd watch the onside to the left right here.
Carson Arndt to kick it.
Nope, he's pooching it left.
It's a very short pooch taken at the 18-yard line, running backwards, and still on his feet. All the way back inside the 5, though. And now he's going to be taken out at the 10.
I'm not sure what the thought process was there. That's an odd return.
Yeah, that was
he ran 15 yards backwards.
Yeah, that was I don't understand that by Vincent Page. So it was odd.
Was that Caden Meredith doing that, number 24?
No, it was Page, number 14.
14, okay.
Yeah, the linebacker. So he was back there doing the returning. Minus 11 yards on that return.
Yeah, that's not the way you want to go, especially if you're Kilgore right now, where Butler seems to have a little momentum.
Yeah, we'll see if they're.
Last thing you want to do is start your drive inside your own 10.
See if the defense can make another stop like they did the last one. Davenport, big hole, breaks a tackle, and there's going to be a holding penalty, as you saw.
I saw that
getting around the edge.
Yep.
Yeah. The flag came in late.
It was
but
late.
It was definitely a holding. I was wondering if they were going to even throw it. And, of course, because it happens so far down the field, it will be a spot foul. It'll go for positive yards. It won't. I don't think it'll be a first down. But
yeah, they threw the flag at around the 25 or so.
Yeah,
it was
on
past
that
the first
edge.
down marker, so they'll end up going back. I bet you they start this back around the 15-yard line for first down.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too.
It's going to be the 16.
16, pretty good job there. So it negates a huge run, 32-yard run.
I'm not sure they shouldn't be moving the chains here. They're keeping them where they're at, so it's 1st and 5 instead of 1st and 10, since they did get the first down. But we'll go with it.
Well, because they got the first down, but it was in the play, it doesn't count as a first down.
Davenport again.
Davenport, huge hole on that right side, and this time it will count.
Boy, Butler, they need to slow this down. They've gotten everything kind of right back where they want it, but the last 2 runs by Davenport have really, really hurt them.
That's his 15th carry.
He's going to be up over 100 yards now, I believe.
Yeah. 108.
Yeah.
Averaging 7. That one goes for 26 yards. The play after a 32-yarder is negated by a penalty. 5:48 to play here in the first or third quarter, and there's another sack. Big sack brought on by Mason Thrash, and we've called his name several times in this game. That is his 5th tackle and his first sack. Three sacks so far in the game for the Butler defense. That was a big one. 2nd down and 16. Davenport again, another big hole in that right side. He gets the sack yardage back. 3rd down and 10. This third quarter is moving like the first quarter did, Brock.
Yes.
Fast.
Yes.
Second quarter slowed down.
Slowed down a bit, but this one's been action-packed, hasn't it?
It has been.
There's been a lot going on. It kind of bogged down, like you said, in that second quarter. This third quarter's been busy.
So we'll see what Kilgore dials up here on a 3rd down and 10 play. Quarterback going to step up in the pocket and takes a big hit, but I think he's going to have enough for the first down. Judah Holtzclaw right at the 48 is where they're going to mark it. That's what he needed, so we'll see if they give it to him. And they're going to stop the they're going to give him the first down. He needed 10. He got exactly 10.
Did he get it?
Yeah, they just told him to move the chains.
They did. You're right.
Yeah, it's so Kilgore starts 1st and 10, or has 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line of Butler. Under 4 to play, third quarter. Trying to answer that touchdown drive on the other side. I'll tell you what, I like the fact that coming out of that timeout, or coming out of that play, the touchdown, they get the ball at the 10-yard line. I like the fact that they go right back to Davenport. Even though he had the fumble earlier, they go right back to him, and basically, you're our workhorse. We believe in you. He gets them a couple of really huge runs, and they're on the other side of the 50-yard line now because of that.
Yeah, you got to, what's the old phrase? You got to dance with the date that brought you?
Yeah.
Davenport's their guy. They know that.
Here's a handoff to Caden Meredith back in there for the Rangers. So another big 3rd down play here for both teams. Butler trying to get the ball back, trailing by 3. Clock winding down here in the third quarter, under 2.5 to play. Of course, Kilgore wanting to keep possession and keep going down the field, and here's a pass. McCoy, and it hits the top of his helmet.
It's good coverage, too.
Very good coverage. Caleb Brown, man, we've called his name several times, too. He's done a really good job.
Yeah, he has 6 foot, 154-pound sophomore out of Lithia Springs, Georgia. He's been good all day. He won't show up on the stats a whole lot. Obviously playing corner, but the things that he's done today has prevented some big plays.
I'll tell you, Brock, we talked about earlier the tackles for loss, and Butler is starting to even that out.
Yes.
As they have now 6 tackles for loss, where they were at 2 for the longest time. Four of those here in this third quarter, and they block it as they brought the house. The ball's picked up and going down the sideline.
Uh-oh.
and brought down at the 5-yard line. Ball comes out, and Butler falls on it. But I think, are they going to say it's a touchdown, or was he down? They're giving him a touchdown. Wow.
There's your play of the game, folks. Butler is just taking the lead.
Number 97, Aaron Woods, recovers it in the end zone for a touchdown. And
wow. What a change of events.
Crazy. and it was blocked by Mason Thrash once again. Thrash has had a phenomenal game. It was recovered. Who was it that got that? Gatch got the recovery. Cade Gatchett got the recovery, and it was recovered by Woods.
Aaron Woods.
Man, what a turn of events. As just a little while ago, Brock, we're talking about the fact that maybe Kilgore is going to go up 3 scores,
right,
and then all of a sudden a fumble recovery and 2 touchdowns later thanks to a blocked punt and a fumble recovery, and now it's a 4-point game in favor of Butler.
And that's what we were talking about earlier. If you're a Butler fan, you've got to feel good about the fact that Kilgore really had the game under control, but on the scoreboard it wasn't that way. It was only a 10-point game, and anytime you can say that, you've got things going for you. Because all it takes is a couple of turnarounds and a couple of plays, and all of a sudden you look up and Butler's got a 4-point lead in a game that Kilgore really is, for most parts, has controlled most of the game on the scoreboard and in the stats until a couple of big plays for Butler changed everything, and now they're up 21-17.
Brock, we have had the special teams in this game.
Yes.
We've had a missed field goal. We've had 2 blocked punts, one by each team. We've had a punt return for a touchdown. The special teams touchdown.
Special teams has let them down quite a bit today.
With the exception of
a couple of shanked
Willie
punts.
McCoy's punt return for a touchdown.
They've had a couple of shanked punts. They've been 2 or 3 times away from almost getting blocked. And now all of a sudden Butler's got 2 blocks from Thrash, and it's they got the lead.
And you think about the play, the kickoff this last time on that last touchdown where Kilgore ran the ball 11 yards backwards.
Yes.
Just things like that. He's going to run this one out.
Yeah.
And still on his feet, pinballing around. Wow. He pinballed off of several people.
That's another one, though, that the special teams, you're thinking, what are we doing here? You're at the back of the end zone. Down that thing and get out of there. But luckily for Kilgore, they get out close to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, Kendalen Wilson with that return. But now we'll see what Kilgore does, as they had this game kind of in hand. Butler still only has 113 total yards of offense.
But they have 21 points on the board, right?
Exactly. Man,
that's all that matters in the end, right?
That is all that matters. Just crazy. That punt return. And then a blocked punt. And now we're going to have a penalty. And Kilgore going to back up 5 yards, I think, on this false start. Yep. Kilgore just kind of in shambles at the moment. You can kind of see that they're trying to get this thing turned around. See what they do here on a first down at 15 now. A handoff on the right side to Meredith. Brought down after a short gain. Man, you can kind of see the momentum. If you can see momentum, you can see it out there right now, because you can see the Kilgore fans and the Kilgore bench is just kind of like, what just happened?
What has happened, yeah.
And you kind of see on the other side over there, there's a little bit more life now by the Butler.
And they've one thing Kilgore's got to remember, there's only a minute left in the third quarter. You can stay shell-shocked for a while and end up missing your chance to make a comeback here. You've got to get right back at it and go.
Yeah, there's a nice pass and catch by Isom. Under a minute's play in the third quarter, and that's going to be a third down play. Or bring up a third down play. They're down about 6. Huge third down of this game. Kilgore making offensive adjustment. Play clock's under 5. They're going to have to hurry. Just does get it off. And the ball's dropped on that far side. Trying to go to McCoy.
Wow.
And that's one of those things where you want to get the ball in your best player's hands, obviously. And if you're not going to hand it off to Davenport, then obviously McCoy is going to be the person you're going to probably try and go to, especially today. But he was double coverage, and I don't know, McCoy just heard the footsteps and decided to drop it. 9 seconds to play in the third quarter, so this punt may be the final play of the quarter. We'll see. And who knows, last time it was turned into a touchdown for Butler. See if Kilgore can block him. He does get it off rugby style. Caught. Oh, and what a hit. And that is going to be a penalty on the play, as that's the last play of the third quarter. But what a hit. As soon as he caught the ball, I didn't see the player. He took a vicious hit from Kilgore, and penalty marker came flying in from about 20 yards out.
He's up, so he looks
A.J.
okay.
King was the person that caught the – boy, you can see the –
Boy, Butler's ready,
Butler
aren't they?
fans, our Butler team, going to get the penalty call.
Well, you talk about a tale of two teams. Looking at the body language of both these teams right now, Kilgore just looks sunk. But they've controlled the entire game until the last 5 minutes or so. And Butler looks like they're ready to roll.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back in just a second with the fourth quarter.
What does better mean to you? Better is personal. Better is community. Better is connection. Better is Butler. Butler Community College. Ready for better.
So because of that penalty, they're going to take over at the 48-yard line of Kilgore. Butler is that is because of that penalty. It was a kick catch interference called on Lister. That was the penalty. And now you hand off to Dingle, and Dingle's going to lose a couple of yards. $14 points scored in that quarter, Brock, and all 14 by Butler.
Yeah, I think if you're Butler right now, getting Dingle involved is the biggest part of this game for them. They've got the lead finally, and you're looking at milking the clock, controlling the ball. You've got a 220-pound running back that's got almost 100 yards in the day. That's the guy you ride in here.
And there's a handoff to him. He backs his way down to the 44.
A 6-yard pickup or so, 5 yards.
Yeah, it's going to be third down. Obviously, if you're Kilgore, you got to stop them. You want to stop them. You don't really want to go down 2 scores here in the fourth quarter, but really want to stop them right here. And that's exactly what they did. Another tackle for a loss.
Yeah, you know, if they had picked up another yard or two, you could possibly go for it because you're kind of in that no man's land if you're around the 40. But once you get knocked out to midfield almost, this ball's on the 47, halfway to the 48 almost. You got to kick this one. Kilgore's going to have a shot to come back here.
Willie McCoy standing his own 10, already has a punt return for a touchdown in the game. He has both touchdowns scored for Kilgore. A line drive kick.
Boy, it has been a tough day punting.
It really has. And the ball's going to go dead at the 27-yard line. Punter for Butler. Adam Young is hobbling after that kick. Yeah, this is not a video you want to show on special teams technique.
Yeah, special teams has been rough today, but I tell you what, this is a huge drive here for Kilgore. They've made a stop, got the ball back. Still only a 4-point game, but you've led this game the entire time up until the last few minutes here. You got to get control of the game back if you're Kilgore.
There's a low snap picked up by the quarterback, and he's just going to have to slide for a loss so he doesn't get destroyed. Holtzclaw, ball snapped at his man. That's another thing. Butler's having Kilgore's really having a hard time getting the snaps. We've seen several on punts. We've seen several on field goals and extra points, and now that one. Second down and about 16.
Oh, wow.
What a play.
That ball hit Michael Phoenix, I believe that is, number 17. That is Michael Phoenix. That ball hit him right in the chest. On a little jailbreak screen, it bounced straight to Butler.
Yeah, did you see who got the interception?
No.
Thrash.
Thrash is making a name for himself.
What a game for Mason Thrash. He has the blocked punt that led to the touchdown return earlier, and then he had just now the interception that gives Butler the ball on the 20-yard line.
He's also got a sack and another half tackle for loss.
What?
Thrash is everywhere.
Yes, he is.
Well, if you look at Butler's able to pull this one out, I think that's probably your guy right there, right? Dingle's obviously carried a big load today, but Thrash has been the difference maker.
Thrash has been the reason why they've made this comeback. And there's a pass to the end zone. It's caught, but out of bounds. That was a nice throw and a nice catch, but pushing a little bit to the far sideline was A.J. King, and he was not able to catch it in bounds.
You start looking through the stats here, and Mason Thrash almost has something checked off in every single box, right?
Right. He just needs a touchdown.
Yeah.
He just needs to get that touchdown.
Yep.
been
for losses. He's got the sacks. He's got the interceptions. He's got the block punt.
Yeah, he's been
6
really
tackles.
good. Butler looking to extend their lead after the turnover. Here's a handoff to Dingle. And, and Dingle, with the exception of the 34-yard run, they've done a really good job of bottling him up. He's got 22 carries for 98 yards. Of course, you take out that one, he's got 50 or 64 yards.
Yeah, he's only averaging 4.3 a carry right now. They've done a really good job.
And that's including the 34-yarder.
That's including that one, yeah. You take that one out, and you're looking at about a 3-yard per carry average.
Yeah, so they've done a really good job executing that. Offensively, they've had some mistakes and some miscues on special teams. Kilgore, that is. And here's a run by Wolf, who's going to get close to the first down, but I think it's going to be about a yard short. It's going to bring up 4th down and 1. Now, this is interesting.
Yeah, this is a toughie.
This is interesting. You either kick the
field goal, make it a 7-point game, or you try to get that 1 extra yard.
And Wolf is out there. Offense is staying out there, and they're going to
try to draw him off sides, right?
No, they're going to hand it off to Dingle, and Dingle's got it at into the end zone.
Heartbreaker right there.
And let me tell you, that play was set up thanks to Chas Carlgren, the fullback who opened up that huge block on Derek Martin, the defensive lineman, sophomore from Dickinson, Texas. That's not an easy assignment, being 295. But, man, that hole opened up, and Dingle able to walk into the end zone. Brock, we might have been able to score on that one.
Pulled about half the muscles in my body doing it, but I would have got there. But that's the thing you as a coach you want, though, right? You get the tough call, you make it, and your guys pull through and make it happen for you. It makes you look good.
Man, the extra point is good. It's 28-17. You talk about a script flipping. That's exactly what's happened here. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll see if Kilgore can respond.
Say that life is a journey. At Kilgore College, we agree. It's a journey about finding your way, about turning challenges into opportunities. It's a journey of friendships and relationships that will last a lifetime. It's about discovering what you're passionate about. It's preparing you for tomorrow. Kilgore College can be your one way that propels you into a successful and rewarding career. With affordable programs in career certification, public service, essential trades, the arts, and so many more. Kilgore College, over 85 years helping people just like you. Remember that the pathway you follow is the one you create for yourself. In the end, it's about living a life you can be proud of. At Kilgore College, your journey starts here.
Caden Clausen to kick off for the Grizzlies, enjoying a 28-17 lead. This was 17-7. Just seems like just a little while ago, and there's McCoy breaking through the tackles, getting all the way up close to the 40-yard line.
Very nice run.
Willie McCoy's having a nice game. He's got both touchdowns for Kilgore. Crazy, crazy game this has been. Here in the fourth quarter, Kilgore trying to respond. Davenport, huge hole up the middle. He's going to get across midfield, and there again, another big block. This one by Marcus Vincent, the tight end, freshman from Duncanville, Texas, helped open up that hole for Davenport. Davenport with 18 carries for 131 yards, averaging over 7 a carry. Here he is again, trying to get around to the edge. And there's going to be a penalty on a hold on that edge.
He got out there to that edge and made the corner, and you always wonder, would they make that corner? Is it because somebody was holding the edge there?
Yeah.
That looks exactly like what that was. It's going to bring that one back. And, well, these Kilgore guys look a little defeated right now, don't they? They got to get their heads up. There's still 9:55 left in this game. There's only an 11-point lead. That's 2 possessions.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's even worse is Davenport's on the ground. He got up and then just kind of fell back over, and he's on the sideline near the 25-yard line. So that's a little bit more concerning maybe if you're Kilgore.
Yeah, if you're Kilgore, that's the one guy you really can't afford to lose at this point, right?
And he's walking off under his own power. He is limping a little bit, so maybe just something that he can walk off. And
he's at almost 20 carries for 150 yards almost. It's been a long day for him.
That holding penalty will bring the ball back to the 43-yard line. Bring up second down. Second down and 19. That's one of those where you can't say that the penalty didn't help because it probably did.
Probably the reason he got the edge, right?
Yeah. Here's a handoff to Meredith. Meredith cuts it back up the middle. Nice vision there. Meredith trying to get the edge and then sees the hole open up between the guard and the tackle and cuts it back up.
Well, he looks fresh at this point too, doesn't he? There's a lot of quickness there. Armstrong is, Davenport's just a little bit worn out, I think, as this game has gone on. But it's a nice run there by Meredith.
And Davenport over here sitting on the bench. Meredith with that gain of 11. Kilgore up at 260 yards of offense. The offense moving the ball hasn't been the problem. It's been some of the other mistakes, the holding penalties. Nice catch. And another penalty marker comes down. That might be another hold as Isom gets that catch. I thought that ball was uncatchable when he threw it.
Yeah.
And somehow Isom was
grab.
able to grab that and make a nice game, but there was a penalty marker come down near the back of the play at the 30-yard line. Maybe a block in the back or holding.
A lot of receivers over there blocking. Might have been a hold. Yeah,
yep, definitely holding. Yep. Another holding penalty. Kilgore coaches trying to find out exactly what the penalty was and why they called it. So they're going to back them up to the 41. So they still almost get a first down. It's going to be second down and short. But that 18-yard play gets brought back a little bit for holding.
It's the ninth penalty of the game against Kilgore. 9 penalties for 90 yards. Only 2 for 10 against Butler.
Penalty called on Phoenix. And that Meredith's going to get the first down on that run. And, and I know it's early to look at the clock. It's 8.5 minutes. But when you're a running team, the clock does become a factor whenever you have to get 2 scores.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's especially in Kilgore. I mean, they've definitely moved the ball. They've got 278 yards, but they haven't really necessarily moved it at will. And when you start getting down inside that 8-minute mark and you need 2 scores, things start getting a little bit every play is important at that point, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So here is a quick pass to McCoy on a wide receiver screen. He's going to get inside the 30, out of the 29-yard line, so gain of 9. That little bubble screen. And, Brock, I'll just be honest. I'm not a big fan of the wide receiver screen. I never have been.
Right.
And it's because, to me, 9 times out of 10, it doesn't work.
Right.
That time it worked.
Yeah, if you've got a receiver out there that can make a move and make somebody miss like McCoy, you can make it work. But I agree, a lot of times it just doesn't work.
Back in there and hurdling over a man is Davenport. Apparently that leg is just fine.
Yeah, apparently he's okay.
Man, he just went 6 feet in the air over somebody, a la Josh Allen. As a Bills fan, I'm going to throw that name out there.
I knew that was coming when I saw that.
Ball's on the 21-yard line. It's going to be first down and 10 for Kilgore. But there again, the clock is under 7 minutes for the game. And needing 2 scores. See if they can get one in a hurry. They're going to go to the end zone, and McCoy breaks it up. Wow. What a play there by McCoy as the ball was going to be – it was headed for the defender, Caleb Brown, and McCoy dives to break that up, and now McCoy is down on the ground being attended to in the back of the end zone. As I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and take a quick timeout with them as they're attending to him in the back of the end zone. We'll be right back from Commerce. Back in action, second down and 10. Hand off to Davenport. Davenport is going to fight his way forward for about 5 yards. Just a hard runner.
Yeah, he really is. And if you're Kilgore right now, there's still time to do that, right? You don't have to start throwing the ball right now. There's only 6 minutes and 25 seconds left. Yeah, but you can get the ball in the end zone pretty quickly here from the 16-yard line. So that if Davenport's your best bet to get there, keep doing it.
Well, you got 299 total yards, and he has 145 of them.
Right.
So they just moved up to 300 yards. So 300 yards, he has 145. So half your yardage is coming from this kid. So why not just keep giving him the ball? He's averaging right at 7 yards a carry. They are going to pass, though. Nice pass over to the tight end on that far side, Marcus Vinson, freshman from Duncanville, Texas, 6'4", 245 pounds.
He's a load, isn't he?
He's huge. That's going to bring up first down and goal now from the 6-yard line. The last time they had this position, Brock, they got a fumble.
Right.
Davenport fumbled it and gave the ball to Butler. So let's see if they can do something here. They're going to give it back to Davenport. He's going to dance around. He's in. What a play by Davenport.
Well, that's exactly what I was saying a minute ago. You still got plenty of time to keep riding that horse in Davenport.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, if I'm Kilgore, they're probably going for 2 points right here to make this a 3-point game. I'm not sure one does you much good here.
Yeah, no, I agree. But they do have the field goal. Yeah, I don't understand that.
I don't understand that. Yeah. 1 point, an extra point makes it a 4-point game. That doesn't do you any good at all. I think I'd be going 2 here.
And you know what else happens, Brock, when you look at that scoreboard is there's 2 timeouts showing on Kilgore's side, and that's because they had to burn the timeout on the kickoff earlier. And you and I were talking about that like we'd never seen anything like that. The extra point is good, so it's a 4-point game. But we talked about that. We'd never seen something, a kickoff where you have a timeout, and now because of that, you don't have that third timeout. So
it's going to be interesting to see in this last 5:23 if, number one, that timeout you're mentioning comes back to haunt Kilgore.
Yeah.
And number two, not going for 2 comes back to haunt Kilgore. Let's say Kilgore gets a stop here. Butler punts it to him, and they come rolling down the field, and they could kick a 20-yard field goal to tie it, or they have to go score to win.
Absolutely.
That
you put yourself
out the window now.
Yeah, you put yourself in a position where you have to have a touchdown. Now you can't. A field goal does you no good. And you're right, because even if you don't get the 2-point, even if you don't get 2-point conversion, you still have to have a touchdown. So you're in no. Right. I don't understand that either.
Maybe they just didn't want overtime.
Maybe so.
We'll either win it or lose it. We're not going to overtime.
Maybe they're hungry and they want to get to the buffet. 5:23 to play. 28-24. Butler on top. This was a 17-7 game, and Kilgore had the ball at the 15-yard line with a chance to possibly go up by 3 scores, and everything changed.
Everything changed. It's been all Butler here in the fourth quarter.
Man, just a crazy turn of events. That touchdown was exactly what they needed, and you could tell there that Butler was expecting an onside kick. They had everybody pulled up, even the returners were pulled up expecting an onside kick or a pooch kick, and the ball is kicked to the back of the end zone.
Yeah, this last possession, couple possessions here for Butler, going to be interesting because it's kind of strength on strength, right? It's Dingle against that Kilgore run defense, that's kind of the matchup we knew coming in. That was the difference between the two teams was Kilgore seemed to have the better run defense coming into this game. And right now, that's exactly what Butler's going to try to do is run Dingle, you'd think. And Kilgore's got to stop him. And whether or not they can is probably going to determine the game.
Butler only has balls on the ground.
Or if they can't get snaps away.
Wow. Butler only has 24 yards of offense that is not from Dingle.
Yeah, that's the crazy part is you look at the scoreboard, and Butler's got 28 points off of 134 yards of offense.
And I take that back. Make that 113 yards because he also has 1 reception for 3 yards. Right. So Dingle has 113 of their 134 yards.
Yeah.
That's insane. And you're right. They have 28 points on the board.
And now they're at 109 total yards of offense,
Just insane.
Well, they just changed it back to 134.
Yeah.
It's changing right before our eyes here.
It's crazy. There's Dingle on a kick. Oh, and he almost broke it. And what a touchdown-saving tackle was made by Joe Cadet.
Well, it wasn't ever. Just got him from behind by the ankles. He was gone.
6'4", 238-pound sophomore from Houston, Texas. 1st and 10. And, of course, Butler just content with let's take the play clock down as far as we can. Under 4 minutes when they snap this ball. Snap it with 2 on the play clock. Hand off to Dingle.
Picks up about 3 there. That clock's going to continue to wind down inside 3:30. As long as Butler can keep winding this clock down, they could, in theory, they could probably end the game on this drive if they wanted to.
after the game, we'll have there'll be a trophy presentation to the winning team and the runner-up team. There'll be MVP trophies handed out as well, so stick around. We'll have that for you. Here's a handoff to Dingle. Bounces around once again. And I would almost burn a timeout here.
I was just about to say, if you're Kilgore, you got to start kind of thinking about timeouts.
There they go.
There you go.
Yeah,
I think that's the right thing to do with only 2 left. They're using 1 right now. If you don't start using those, I mean, you're talking about even if you get the stop here on 3rd down, it's going to be less than 2 minutes left in the game when you get the ball back, where you can start using those things right now and have almost 3 minutes left.
It's going to be 3rd down and 5 coming out of the timeout. So, it's just one of those situations. If you're Butler, do you just keep handing the ball off, or do you maybe try a little play action pass and maybe
I wouldn't have a problem with a play action pass now. Just as long as you're comfortable that you can complete the pass, right? All you have to do, even if you don't get the 1st down, just make sure that your tight end or whoever you throw this ball to catches the ball inbounds and falls down, and keep the clock moving and force Kilgore to either take a timeout or get back out there and receive the punt. I think that's a good call. That you can do either thing here.
See what they do with this timeout. And everybody's probably expecting that run, from Dingle with a 5 yards. And so that play-action pass might be the right way to go there.
Just run a little 5-yard out to your tight end, and if it's there, toss it to him. If it's not, throw it away. Just make sure you don't throw an interception.
I formation, pistol I, if you will. And now he's going to go up under center. And they're going to pitch it out to Dingle. Oh, what a great play call that was. Inside the 40, cuts it back.
Stays in bounds.
And that was a heads-up play, as there's a penalty marker down. That's going to be after the play.
Yeah.
But, man, what a play call as the entire line is going right and Dingle goes to the left.
And if you're Kilgore, you've got to think they're either going to, like you said, play action it short, or they're going to run it up the gut. So everybody kind of pinches in on the gut and it leaves that outside edge wide open. It's a great play call there by Butler.
25 yards on the play.
That's a backbreaker.
Absolutely. That puts him over 150 on the ground.
And this is on Butler.
Butler, a block, but it's from the end of the play, so I think it's still going to be a 1st down. Because it happened at the end of the play. It was a block. What is that signal when they do he did his fists together? Is it a chop block maybe, or something similar? See,
that's an interesting call. I'm not sure there. It is 1st down though.
Yeah, so it'll be a 1st down play because it was from the end of the run, and because it was 25, they're going to give him basically a 10-yard gain. That was a huge play. So now 2.5 minutes. Personal foul penalty. But with 2:20, the clock is running. With just one timeout left for Kilgore. You would think that another 1st down would pretty much end this game, as it's going to be close to 2 minutes, and they're going to take a timeout at the 2:05 mark. I'll tell you what, we'll step aside with them. We'll come back with the finish here from Commerce. It's 28-24.
We are lions. We are champions of the determined, and a beacon for those wanting a life more fulfilling. We've understood that success isn't born from a wish and a dream, but having a will to forge a way. Why are we so confident? Because we've always turned grit into greatness and determination into deeds. We are Commerce. We are Lions.
First down and 10 for Butler as they use their first timeout of this second half. Kilgore trying to rip the ball out. And it's going to be a gain of about 3.
Well, and Dingle's got to keep his head here. The last thing they want is a personal foul to knock them back and it stop them from being able to convert a first down.
Well, and what else that would do is it would stop the clock.
Yes.
I mean, on a personal foul like that, it would stop the clock, and that would be
Kilgore's
terrible.
got nothing to lose here. They're going to do everything they can to try to get somebody, to do something stupid.
Yeah.
Just don't fall for it. You hold out here for the last minute and a half, you can win this game.
A minute and a half, as you said. Second down and 7. There's only one timeout left for Kilgore, so the game is essentially over, barring something that Butler does, a penalty or a turnover, which the snaps in this game have been so crazy.
Yeah, you can't.
You don't know what's going to happen there.
Can't depend on those working out.
Hand off to Dingle, and he's going to have the first down, and that's going to do it. Up to the 35-yard line as Dingle, the workhorse. We talked about how he wasn't having just a great game earlier and how they were bottling him up, and now all of a sudden he is up over 160 yards, 30 carries, just 165 yards. They still only have 189 total yards.
That's crazy, isn't it? They have 28 points on the board with less than 200 yards of offense.
And one player has almost 170 of that. And so this is gonna be the kneel down, and that they're gonna do it now.
Now this is the victory formation.
And that is the victory formation. They're gonna kneel down.
Oh wow, okay.
As the ball comes, and there's some pushing and shoving as Kilgore is number 99 jumped over the line.
Martin.
Derek Martin trying to knock the ball out. And then there was some people didn't really like what happened there. They stopped the clock with 27 seconds.
Derek Martin's got 2 tackles on the game. If he wanted to make something happen, it's a little late now.
Yeah. And so Butler is heading to the south end of the end zone. They still haven't wound the clock. It's still stopped at 27 seconds. And now the official's telling him to run the clock. And that's going to do it as the play clock is going to run out. Man, Brock, what a crazy, phenomenal game this was. We talked about in the first half how it was dominated statistically by Kilgore and how, man, they should be up by more than 10 points. And all of a sudden, you're coming out of the break and you're telling me, hey, if I'm Butler, I'm kind of excited that we've held it to a 10-point game. And then a blink of an eye, and it's 28-24.
Yeah, that's one of the things you have to worry about when you're in Kilgore's position they were in at halftime, where you've controlled the entire game, but you're only up by 10. It makes you a little nervous because you're thinking, why hasn't this lead extended out to where it should be? And from Butler's side, that always gives you hope, right? That, hey, we've played terrible. They've really been on their A game, and it still hasn't been enough to take away the game from us yet. And this is exactly what you see. Butler makes a couple of big plays. They get 2 different block punts and put some points on the board really, really quickly. Dingle starts putting the game away late, and Well, all of a sudden you look up and it's a 4-point win for Butler.
And, we're going to have the trophy presentations handed out to both teams. We're going to have MVP for both teams. And we suspect that the MVP is going to be probably someone like Thrash defensively for Butler. Just had a phenomenal game. He had the interception. He had the punt block. He had a sack. Just phenomenal.
8 tackles, yeah.
Yeah, and we assume it's going to be somebody like that. And then on the other side, you got somebody like Willie McCoy for Kilgore, who had 2 touchdowns. He had the punt return for a touchdown. He had the first touchdown on that 38-yard reception.
Kilgore put up 24 points, and 14 of that was because of Willie McCoy single-handedly making incredible plays. Right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so we're going to have the trophy presentation here at the CHAMPS Heart of Texas Bowl. Just a phenomenal day here. And once again, I want to say that while we're waiting, this is the 20th annual TIPS USA CHAMPS Heart of Texas Bowl. It's an activity of communities, helping Americans mature, progress, and succeed programs. CHAMPS is a part of America's Drug-Free Productions. It's a 501c3 organization. The main purpose of CHAMPS is to raise awareness of the need to educate youth on America's drug-free productions. And the mission of America's Drug-Free Productions is to provide educational information on dangers of the abuse of alcohol, illicit drugs, bullying, and teen suicide for the youth of America. Educational information disseminated to schools, districts on the ADFP mission, and provide sponsorship for CHAMPS schools assemblies. And that's what this goes to. A lot of the proceeds for this goes to this organization, and what a fun time this has been. Thanks to both these teams for obviously participating. We're going to see them both coming out towards midfield.
It's like a nice trophy.
Yeah, it does. Looks like a really nice trophy. Getting those out.
It looks like they're going to be giving the MVP trophies out first for each team, and we'll see who those are. Obviously, you'd think they'd be doing Kilgore first.
Yeah, I would think so.
Nope, they're doing Butler first. Mason Thrash.
Absolutely. Mason
definitely.
Thrash deserved that one. Phenomenal game defensively and on special teams. And so Mason Thrash receiving the MVP for Butler. Wearing the number 15, getting his picture taken. See the shaking hands with representatives from the bowl. Yeah, Willie McCoy there again getting the one for Kilgore. Just like we thought, Brock. He gets both those touchdowns. He has the punt return for a touchdown, and he has the 38-yard reception for a touchdown. So definitely who we thought would be.
Yeah, he was definitely obviously Davenport was kind of the workhorse for you, but the explosive plays that he provided was just that accounted for half their points, right?
Absolutely. Runner-up trophy going to Kilgore Kilgore Rangers. Congratulations to them. Phenomenal season.
Yeah.
Ranked number 7th, Southwest Junior College football champions. Phenomenal season from them.
And they're going to finish the season 8-4. Actually, both teams will finish the season 8-4 now.
Yeah. And, of course, Butler getting the championship trophy. Ranked number 11 in the nation.
You'd have to think with a win over a top 10 team like this, they'll obviously move up some more next week.
Yeah, you would think so. long drive down from Kansas for this game, and they showed up. That first half was rough, and offensively, there are a lot of things not to look at, but, man, they played and they did what they needed to do defensively, offensively. Just a phenomenal performance from Butler. I mean, coming from behind, I can't talk enough about how we looked at this game, and there was a chance where it was first and 10 at the 15-yard line for Kilgore. They had a chance to go up. There was 17-7. They had a chance to go up by 3 scores, and all of a sudden a fumble recovery by Butler, and the next thing you know, it was 28-17. 3 touchdowns that they put up in a matter of about 10 minutes of game time, and it was a phenomenal performance. And you can see them taking their pictures as the champions of the CHAMPS Heart of Texas Bowl for 2022. Brock, has been a lot of fun, man.
It has been fun.
I've enjoyed this, and we hope you guys have enjoyed it as well. That's going to do it for our broadcast, 28-24. Just a phenomenal time. Thanks to everybody here at A&M Commerce for being such great hosts for this event. Thanks for Katie for doing just a great job of producing this thing here today. So for Brock Calloway, this is Greg Higgins saying so long from Commerce. We'll talk to you next time.